Steve coming at you, and welcome to Last Reps Baseball. Tonight should be an exciting matchup between two Japanese powerhouse baseball teams. I hope you all enjoy this and treat Freddie with all the respect he deserves. Call a good game, Freddie, and who knows, someday you may even see me in one of these games. And if you don't, you might want to come check out my channel and see what I do. You know what? But hey, let's get back to Freddie. Let's get some baseball. Let's just have a great game.
Welcome back to everybody. Had a few technical difficulties with the sound, so we'll have to give it the lineups as we move along, as we had given the lineups without any sound in the background. And it is going to be the Yomiuri Giants who are leading it off here against the right-hander Koya Fuji, who will be taking to the mound here. It is going to be number 6, Hayato Sakamoto, who's leading it off. He'll be followed by the left fielder Takuya Kajitani, the designated hitter Yuto Akihiro. We'll give it the lineups as we move along here in just a couple moments in their full array. We'll do that in between the half inning of inning number 1 and inning number 2. So Sakamoto, Kajitani, and Akihiro here to face the right-hander Fuji, who throws the first pitch of the ball game at 95 miles an hour, but it misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Steve says the lineups were fine and then it cut out. Well, maybe that's the case. I'm not sure what happened there. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. That is going to reach the seats over on the first base side, and that's going to run the count even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sakamoto hitting at the leadoff spot. He's batting .254 on the season. He's got 8 homers and 24 runs driven in. Batting from the right side against the right-hander Fuji. Here comes the 1-1. As Fuji delivers, it is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2. Fuji bringing it up to almost 96 miles an hour. He is pumping hard, and he's got a lot of downward tilt on that fastball. A lot of downward tilt, taper, as some would say. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As Fuji now kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Sakamoto's in the books for the first out of the inning. 1 giant up and 1 giant down, and that is going to bring up the left fielder, Takayuki Kajitani. Well, for Kajitani on the season, he's hitting .286. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. It's pretty much a domestic lineup for both of these two teams tonight. No import players to speak of in the starting lineups. Interesting sometimes when you watch some of the weekend games, who they feature or how they're featured. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner and the count is quickly 0-1. We've noted that sometimes if the import players will be in the lineup or if they're not in the lineup or if it's the time to give them a day off. There's a fastball that misses upstairs and the count goes even at 1-1. During the week, one would think not as many eyes on the ball games as there are on the weekends. And certainly on the weekends, a lot of people will be engaged in cheering for their local stars or their domestic stars. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Kajitani. There is already a game that has been rained out in the NPB tonight. And we'll get you updated on those out-of-town scores as they come along. But the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles were hosting the Chinichi Dragons. That game has been washed out. We're going to see if they're going to make an update on that, if they're going to try to play that game tomorrow. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 3-1 to Kajitani. The other game that's underway right now is the Fighters and the Hanshin Tigers, as well as the Lions and the Swallows. The other two games, or the other game, I should say, is going to be a little later start. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the left side of the infield. Moving over underneath it is the third baseman, Kurihara, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Kajitani. Kajitani will be disappointed with that one. It was a 3-1 pitch. You want to put a good swing on a good pitch, and it was just a weak pop-up to the third baseman. Ended up sawing his bat off. He didn't even hit the ball in the sweet spot, not even close. That ended up being a weak pop fly to the third baseman for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuto Akihiro. Well, for Akihiro, as he stands in there and takes the first pitch fastball for a called strike, he's batting .321 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 17 runs batted in. Big left-handed hitting designated hitter waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Fuji. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. So Fuji has come out throwing strikes. Interesting to see what Sagano is going to be all about, making his season debut tonight. A right-hander for the Yomiuri Giants. He's long been considered the ace of their staff. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as Fuji kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner. That came in at 96 plus miles an hour. Runs the count to 1-2. Pitch there looked pretty darn good, but it had a little bit of cut to it and ran off the inside corner. Here's the 1-2. It's a fastball that comes inside, and it looks like it has hit the batter Akihiro. He just couldn't quite get out of the way of that one, and he's going to make his way over to first. Not only did it hit him, it looked like it also caught Takuya Kai on the ricochet. We're going to see that one. Yeah, it got him in the shin, and it came off, and it hit Kai in the area where you're not protected. So he had reached across his body to try to catch the ball, and it exposed his left side from his catcher's gear. So he kind of got it in the area just below the rib cage. So that's going to be a hit batter with 2 gone. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Kaz Okamoto. Well, for Okamoto on the season, he's enjoying himself a very fine 2023 campaign. He's got 15 homers and 34 RBIs to go along with a .324 batting average. Right-hander against the right-hander. Fuji delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Good traveling crowd as the Giants fans are in solid attendance here at this one. It's not usually a game at the PayPay Dome that goes poorly attended. They really draw well in Fukuoka. Here comes the 1-0. He pitches a fastball that is swung on and missed, and now the count goes even at 1-1. That last pitch was at 94 miles an hour. So we've seen 97 on the gun, and we've seen Fuji in and around the 94, 95 mile an hour mark with consistency. Here comes the 1-1. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kaz Okamoto. Right-hander against the right-hander. Fuji checks the runner at first as he works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Okamoto is down on strikes for out number 3, and that is going to do it here. No runs in the inning. There was no hits, no errors, but there was a runner left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is the Giants no score and the Hawks coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you for bouncing in here with us tonight. Hang tight. Hawks and Giants. We have Hawks and Giants, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you for being here with us.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. And I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming up for Fukuoka here in their half of the inning. That means Akira Nakamura, Taisi Makihara, and Kensuke Kondo to come to bat to face the right-hander Tomoyuki Sagano, who is making his first start of the 2023 campaign, as he had a couple of tune-up tosses down on the farm. This will be game number 1 of the season for the veteran right-hander, who has long been considered the ace of the Giants staff. So Nakamura striding to the plate. He's hitting .290 on the season with a couple homers and 15 RBIs. Sagano was once linked to the New York Mets organization a couple years ago as a possible location to come to Major League Baseball, but it never became to fruition, as the first pitch is a fastball that misses off the outside corner for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We watch him pitch. He is kind of a low 3/4 arms. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count quickly goes to 2-0 to Nakamura. Nakamura batting from the left-hand side against the right-handed throwing Sagano, who rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. Sagano, he's crafty, and at his best, he is very, very good, but we've not seen the best of Sagano in the last couple of seasons. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. He is able to change the tempo. He's able to mix his pitch as well. He's able to change speeds on the hitters. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball delivered, it swung on and fouled away, and the count's going to remain at 2-2 to Nakamura. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll be looking to add ourselves into some of the games in the midweek this week. Probably be looking at about 4 nights worth of games. But we will not be on Saturday night next weekend, as we will be out of town ourselves. So potentially 5 nights or maybe even 6 nights, depending if we end up doing something on the Monday night, as there are potentially for some makeup games with the rainouts here in the NPB Interleague play, as that ball was hooked foul into the stands by Nakamura. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is sliced foul down the left field line, and the battle is going to continue. Already 7 pitches here to the leadoff hitter. Certainly doing his job, getting an opportunity to see everything that the right-hander has in his arsenal. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander gives the nod in agreement to his catcher, Oshiro. He rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is pop foul over on the first base side, but this too is going to reach the seats. It's going to keep the count at 2-2, and again, the battle continues. Pitch number 9 of the at-bat. Ready to happen here. Last night's ball game ended up being a slugfest between these two teams. Lots of runs on the board. Certainly the offenses tonight have the capability of putting up more. It's the pitching that might be the difference. Here's the 2-2 again. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats. Not the way that Sagano wanted to start the 2023 campaign with a 10-pitch at bat to the leadoff hitter. That's exactly what we have coming up here. That is pitch number 9 that's been fouled away. It's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The interleague play between the two leagues is all knotted up at 32 wins apiece entering tonight's contests. As here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Sagano delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on and missed. He got the best of Nakamura. He's going to be retired for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Taisi Makihara. For Makihara, he's hitting .305. He's got a homer and 12 RBIs on the campaign. He gets the start in center field tonight. As we were talking about, the top, there's a 6-way tie for first place in the interleague standings this year. It's been a fairly even round of play so far through the first almost full 4 rounds. Of course, that'll be completed tonight. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped into center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Fielding it is the center fielder Shigenobu, and he's going to get that one back into the infield. That's going to be a base hit here for Makihara, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Kazuki Kondo. We're saying about the interleague play, how each team right now, it's been very, very tight. There are 6 teams at 6-5. And then there are a couple of teams that are playing 500 ball because they had a game rained out. That would be the Swallows and the Eagles. A couple of teams at 5-6, and then a couple of teams at 4, 6, and 1. But pretty tight. Could be anybody's interleague midseason championship. So here comes the first pitch to Kondo. Sagano delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Kondo batting .273. He's got 8 homers and 32 RBIs. He's not skipped a beat since joining the Hawks from his old club. We got Walking Spotted Bear in the house tonight. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you for being here. We've had a couple of... Last weekend, we didn't do anything last weekend. We had a little hiatus, just a lot of stuff going on. There's a fastball taken for a ball inside, and the count goes to 1-1. We did do the Bowers start in the midweek. Of course, we're going to look to see what other games we can attach in the middle of the week. We'll probably stick with the Giants on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for their middle of the night games. And I don't know what we're going to do on Monday. Haven't quite made it that far yet. As we said, we're looking at some of that as well. The possibility of doing a makeup game, and certainly if it's the Eagles tomorrow night, we'll look at doing that. Here comes the 1-1. and is a fastball taken under the hands for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2 on Kondo. Definitely a veteran call there. Fuji had a very similar pitch in the last inning. It's called the ball. That pitch there, Kondo did not like that pitch. That's not quite the home cooking you'd expect. So 1-2 strikes. As Oshiro gives the sign to his pitcher who works set at the belt. Here comes the 1-2. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Kondo is down on strikes. So 2 strikeouts here in the inning have sandwiched a base hit by Makihara. So 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita on the season, he's hitting .301. He's got 9 homers and 30 RBIs. He's a veteran who's enjoying a bit of a renaissance. He's had some, I'd say, some slippage in his numbers over the last couple of years. But he certainly played well this year, putting up some numbers. So the right-hander, Sagano, works at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yanagita. Defensively tonight for the Giants, from left field to right field, it is Kajitani in left. The center fielder is Shigenobu, and in right field, it's Maru. Around the horn from first to third, it is Nakata at first, Nakayama at second, the shortstop Sakamoto, and Okamoto at third, with the battery of Sagano and Oshiro. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Sagano checks the runner and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses inside, almost hit Yanagita. It's going to even the count now at 1-1. So 1-1 strike. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says, who do you think is going to win tonight? I have to say, this is a very strong Fukuoka lineup tonight. If I was leaning before the game, I had a talk with the Living Room Sports. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count is now 2-1. And when I had the conversation with Living Room Sports, we were talking about it. We said he was going with the Hawks earlier in the daytime today. He was watching the lines move back and forth. And when I saw the lineups posted, I gave him the lineups and I said, hey, I think the Hawks have got a really strong lineup tonight. And I would be pointing that. And I don't know what the starting pitcher Sagano is going to be like, because this is his first start of the year. I mean, he's their ace of their staff. As there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. The count goes 2-2 to Yanagita. So from that perspective, hard to tell, hard to make that determination of who might have the edge and who wouldn't. But I certainly, in my opinion, think that the Hawks have the better lineup here tonight. And they've got weapons on the bench to boot. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped over the head of the pitcher. Fielded by the second baseman. Thrown on the run. Nice play there by the second baseman, Nakayama. That's going to be a ground out 4-3, but it looks like they've called him safe over at first base. I don't know why. And the manager has come out. They're going to challenge it straight away. I thought that was a pretty straightforward call. I don't know if the umpire is there or whatever else, but Yanagita is going to hold at first base until they come up with a decision. But I certainly thought Yuki Yanagita didn't beat that one out. We'll have a look at the replay ourselves. Friend Walking Spotted Bear says the Bay Stars are already up 4-0. We've got Titus in the house. We welcome you. Let's look at that replay again. It was a chopper over the pitcher's head. Fielding it was the second baseman. As he threw to first, well, maybe it was a little closer than we thought, but I still think that Yanagita didn't beat it out. As we saw the replay, I think it's going to get overturned, but we're going to see here in a moment. Yeah, I think, and there it is. This one's coming back. I'm going to put it in my books already as a ground out 4-3. I'm not going to waste any time here, but we'll hold in here until they actually give us the official result on that. But as far as I'm concerned, Yanagita's gone for out number 3. I was taking a look today, Major League Baseball. I was looking at the challenges by managers and who has the best success rate. And right now it is Skip Schumacher of the Miami Marlins. He's got 11 for 12, and that's exactly it. Here come the umpires. They've ruled him out, and Yanagita has gone for out number 3. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We're through one. The score's 0-0. Come on back, everybody. I'll talk about all the challenges and who's leading the way in Major League Baseball. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. Steve's a character. He's done a lot for us, and hopefully we can do a lot for him. Don't forget to subscribe to him.
Hey guys, Steve come back at you again. Steve Rademacher, that is. And during this intermission, let's open up a package of Garbage Pail Kids Series 4 Chrome, shall we? See what we get, then we'll come right back to the game with Freddie. Oh, very nice. I got a Ruptured Rupert. Very nice. We have a Jules Brooks to go right along with everyone's favorite Def Jeff. Sorry about the glare, but that's what Chrome do. We did get a Mosquito. You know, that's Wisconsin State bird right there. And the cracked ice is a Pinned Penny. Gotta love Garbage Pail Kids. Gotta love Freddie. Gotta love baseball. See you next time.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. Don't forget, after the game, go check out Steve Rademacher for all his crazy stuff, and it is crazy indeed. That's what happens when you spend half your life in Wisconsin and are released out to the world through YouTube. All right, everybody. Well, welcome back. We are going to the top of the second inning. It is going to be Takumi Oshiro, Sho Nakata, and Yoshiro Maru to come to bat for the Giants, as they are going to be ready to face the starter Fuji for his second inning of work. For Oshiro, he's batting .274 on the season with 9 homers and 25 RBIs. The first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Oshiro getting the start behind the plate tonight has been a rock for the Giants, that's for sure. Both behind the plate and at the plate. Here's the 0-1. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1. Defensively tonight for the Hawks, from left to right field, it is Kondo in left, it is Makihara in center, and Yanagamachi is in right field. Around the horn from first to third, as Fuji delivers a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yanagamachi, as we said, in the right field. Around the horn from first to third, it is Nakamura at first. At second, it is Momori, the shortstop tonight. I welcome you back in here. Alex says he starts a new job on Monday, and I'll only be able to watch the NPB on weekends from now on. Cracking open a couple of Sapporos for this one. Well, we'll be on for one of the weekend games next weekend. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. That'll be the Friday night game, but we're not going to be able to do the Saturday night game next weekend. So you get the night off on that one there, Alexander. You'll be able to have a few more Sapporos and whatever else. I'm going to be out of town on the island, beautiful Vancouver Island, taking the ferry across. Going to play a little bit of ball. Here comes the 1-2. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up right at home plate. Clearing the mask, and right underneath it is Takuya Kai. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Oshiro for the first out of the inning. So 1 up bad, 1 away, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Sho Nakata. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says, where the heck is he getting all that unopened stuff? He says he's got a pretty big early 90s MLB collection. And that's the junk wax era at its finest for sure. Well, that brings up Sho Nakata, the first baseman. He's batting .300 on the year. He's got 8 homers and 17 runs batted in. As the right-hander Fuji kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. I have to say, Fuji in particular, it's kind of fun to watch him pitch. Watching him pitch last year, he was mainly used out of the bullpen. He was a 7th and 8th inning pitcher for the Hawks. And then, of course, this year he's been converted into a starter. There's the 0-1. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. Walking Spotted Bear says, might be familiar. Yeah, we do a lot of giveaways with stuff. We often give away stuff to the younger kids that come to our camps and our clinics. The whole idea behind it is you got to play, you got to watch, and you got to listen. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball that's check swing, swung on and fouled away. The count now is 1-2 to Nakata. And so whatever captures a kid's imagination, some kids it's the stats on the back of the card, some kids it's the little stories on the card, some kids it's the picture, some it's their favorite team, some don't care, and you find out who cares and who doesn't, especially at the young age. Are they interested or are they not interested? It gives you a lot of information about the kids, and some of it actually piques their interest. Here comes the 1-2 offering as the right-hander delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2. And to give you an idea on it, when I was a young kid, what introduced me to sports cards or picture cards in particular, I was in the hospital with a virus. I was about 3 years old. And the physicians and the nurses, hospital staff said to my parents, whatever you bring in for your son has to be destroyed. You can't take it away. So my dad bought hockey cards and brought them in for me. And there's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-2 because it was obviously something I could look at and have, kind of have something in my hands to look visually and whatever else and be interested in it. But of course, the cards could easily be destroyed once I was done with it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is 2-2 still. So whatever it was, 5 or 10 packs of cards. And so I kind of liked it. So my dad used to go to the variety stores in the morning during baseball season when he would go and get the Detroit Free Press. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Fuji as Nakata is waiting here on the offering. As he kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Nakata is down on strikes. That's the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Yoshiro Maru. So just finishing that story a little bit. So my dad would go out and get the Detroit Free Press in the morning, and then he would always bring back 4 or 5 packs of cards. And baseball season, it was baseball. Hockey season, it was hockey. And then we would have almost like an Easter egg hunt in the morning to go and hunt where the cards were and get a chance to open them and look at the cards, see what you got. Did you get doubles? Did you get triples? Did you get somebody new? Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Don't really collect anything these days, more along the lines of opening and giving it away, and that's sort of still the fun of opening it up. Of course, we do our stuff on the line here, and then we also do some stuff where we open up and we do some repacked wax, and we sell it off to the kids, and we donate half the money to the league of the stuff that we're working with. So if we do $500-600 in sales over the course of a year, half of that goes to the local association, which would be $250 or $300, depending on how much is sold. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes now to 2-1 on Maru. 2 balls and 1 strike. And there are people that are interested and some people that aren't. Ricky says, is there a link to donate? Who is listening on Twitch? There's a fastball swung on. This ball has popped up over on the shortstop side. Moving over underneath it is the shortstop, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here as Maru is out for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We'll answer Ricky's question. Ricky, most of our listeners listen on YouTube. And so I know you're listening in there on Twitch, and you can make a donation through the any of the super chats or super thanks if you're through YouTube. Jump over there and subscribe to the channel. We do our stuff on Twitch, but we're not as active as we are certainly on the YouTube network. You're more than willing to be able to do that as well. We'll be back here in just a few minutes, everybody. Your score after 1.5, nothing. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred with Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the second inning, and coming to bat here for the Hawks is going to be Tatsuro Yanagamachi, Ryoya Kurihara, and Isami Nomura. Our friend on the other side there, we've got Phillips Lazarchik, it looks like, wanting to know where they can watch in the USA. That's a great question, as we're not in the USA, but hang on for a second. We might be able to help you out a little bit. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Yanagamachi. Yanagamachi batting .284. He's got no homers and 11 RBIs on the season as he rocks into the windup. And he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball missing upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. 20 pitches in the first inning for Sagano, and half of them were to the leadoff hitter, Akira Nakamura. So to Philip's question, if you're, depending where you're at in the States, of course, you can be able to pull the games off sometimes at Live QQ. We can't give you the links through that. You're going to have to Google that and be able to pull that off if you're on some of the gambling websites, as that pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and the count goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Some of the gambling websites, I think it was Bet2X or something like that, has also got live streaming. You have to have an account. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4 to Yanagamachi. He's going to get himself a leadoff walk here in the second inning, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Ryoya Kurihara. Well, Kurihara has slipped a little bit in the batting order here. He's hitting in the 6th spot, but he is a major run producer for the Hawks. He's got 7 homers and 35 RBIs on the year. He's only hitting .244. So he is here with able to do it. Actually reminds me of something. Maybe what I should do is we should consider doing a video if people donate to the channel and want to see some cards opened or stuff like that. Then we do it, and then maybe give it away to the kids or do it something that way where we can kind of get the kids involved. That'd be kind of neat. Maybe open the packs live and then give it away as such and see what the kids are able to get. I'll have to think about that, where we can do that and have some fun with the children doing it. There's Ryoya Kurihara, who's batting here on the left side, and he swung through that first pitch breaking ball for a strike, and now he takes a pitch outside for a ball, and the count is 1-1. Kurihara batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Sagano. Has a slightly open stance. Alexander says he'll buy one. That'd be pretty cool. We have to be able to do that, and I'll think of a way to do something. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. Steve Rademacher says he'll do it, and he drops us 10. It's a pretty cool idea. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you for that one. I think that'd be kind of neat. Maybe do it with our kids. Maybe even as we practice tomorrow night, when we're done, it'll be getting dark. So maybe not tomorrow night. Maybe at one of our other games, have the kids do it. Or maybe even on the weekend. I think that would be kind of fun to have something done when I got all the kids together, and maybe when we're staying at the dorms, have them open a pack and have them video it and take a look at it and see what they're able to come up with. I think that'd be kind of cool. Next Saturday, and then post it up on the site, and let's see what we have from that. Maybe get a couple of kids to do it, because some of our kids are pretty knowledgeable about the players and know what's going on, and some of the other ones, they don't necessarily do it. There's a fastball that misses, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Kurihara. Alexander says he's going to do it via PayPal so we don't have to get attacked by YouTube. Yeah, YouTube can do that to you, that's for sure. But in some ways, when you think about it, YouTube, for the amount of volume of video that we're able to get hosted for nothing, is basically pretty impressive. So sometimes I don't necessarily mind that. It's almost like free storage. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 3-2. I kind of cringe a little bit sometimes to think about how much money YouTube makes, period, by people just coming to the channel and being around. We get pennies on the dollar for advertisements. I wonder what they're raking in as part of that to be able to do this. It's absolutely unbelievable. Second largest search engine on the internet is YouTube. So here comes the 3-2 pitch to Kurihara. As Sagano delivers it as a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count's going to remain at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. I'll have to come up with something for the weekend if that's the case. I've got some stuff, so maybe what we'll do is we'll put that together on Saturday, and then we'll do it next week where we get a couple of the kids. Maybe I'll do a bunch of different videos and have them open the packs with their dads and have some fun in doing it. Three balls and two strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up over on the third base side. Giving chase is the third baseman Okamoto. He reaches into the camera well and makes the catch. That's pretty cool. That was a great catch there by Okamoto. He's going to retire Kurihara for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Isami Nomura. Fred Alexander Leggett asked the question, if I follow college baseball, I know what's going on over there. I don't know a lot of the players per se. I know that Paul Skeens is the kind of the top 5 potential player in the draft. He's the pitcher for LSU, and I think he started tonight or he started last night. I know University of Virginia, I believe, is through to the College World Series. Some of the other games are potentially series are wrapping up tonight, certainly tomorrow or Monday. Here's the first pitch delivered to Isami Nomura. It's a fastball missing inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Nomura batting .200 on the season, no homers and no RBIs. As the right-hander works to the set position, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As the right-hander Sagano checks the runner at first, and he works to the set position. Here comes pitch number 34 of the ball game. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Moving back on it is the second baseman Nakayama, and he's going to make the catch. Retreating back to first is Yanagamachi. And Nomura is gone for the second out of the inning, so 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the second baseman Masaki Momori. Couple of the eyebrow-raising college teams, as Alexander Leggett had asked the question about watching college ball. 2 of the teams that were of interest in this, what I would call the super regionals, I think that's what they refer to them as. The super regionals, it is Oral Roberts getting into a super regional. That was eyebrow-raising. They're playing Oregon right now. And the other super regional, I forget who's going to take out Indiana State, but Indiana State had been a ranked team. I think it was Texas Christian. That is probably going to take out Indiana State. There is a fastball that misses down and into Momori, and the count is 1-0. Momori only batting .143 on the season, no homers and 1 RBI. But certainly being involved for a number of years in the NAIA area, certainly of college baseball, knowing what goes on there, you get some pretty good NAIA teams. Certainly Lewis and Clark State in conference, one of the perennial powerhouses of the NAIA, but a few years ago, there were a number of teams that have left. An NAIA school that is making noise in the NCAA Division I is Dallas Baptist. They've been making noise the last couple of years. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed by Momori, and the count is 1-1. Dallas Baptist is one who made the jump over. A lot of schools left the NAIA. A lot of NAIA powers left to go NCAA Division II a few years ago. Point Loma was one of them. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. Beautiful campus down there at Point Loma in California. Alexander Leggett said, I remember when Oral Roberts made their college basketball run. He hopes they do it for baseball too. Usually there's got to be at least, I always like to see one team every year, one Cinderella, get to the College World Series in Omaha. I remember a few years ago, I think it was not Slippery Rock, it was Stony Brook. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 3-1. I think Stony Brook was where Joe Nathan, the closer of the Twins, went to school. I think he was a dual. I think he was a shortstop and a pitcher, if I'm not mistaken, years ago. And they went on a run about 3-4 years ago, got to the College World Series. There's been some other teams over the years from mid-majors, like Kent State's had some runs. Years ago, Eastern Michigan not just made runs, they made noise at the College World Series. But that's going back 25, 30 years ago. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2 to Yomiuri. Well, Yannick Gamachi will be on the run here as it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is going to be the 20th pitch of the inning. It's going to equal the amount of pitches that Sagano threw back in the first inning. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Oshiro. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a split finger pitch swung on and fouled away, and the count now is going to remain at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. What's more important now sometimes say is don't forget to hit that like button. We don't say it enough, and we're happy when people do. It also helps the channel out or helps the stream out. Starts pumping us up the dial if you get a chance. Don't forget to give us that thumbs up if you get a chance. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is chopped back to the pitcher. Fielded neatly by Sagano. He throws it over to first, and that is going to retire Yomiuri. That's going to go down as a ground out 1-3 for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here. So no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 3rd inning. Your score is the Giants 0 and the Hawks 0. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. We'll be right back in 30 seconds, everybody. Your score is 0-0. Hang tight. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to the top of the 3rd inning, and it is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Giants. That means it's going to be Nakayama, Shigenobu, and the top of the order, Sakamoto, to come to bat to face Fuji here. Really well-attended crowd tonight at the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka. We're looking forward to seeing this for ourselves. Ironically, got a chance to win some free tickets to some ball games, and I would have to sort it out, but try to take advantage of using those free tickets in Fukuoka because that could be a tough ticket any day of the week. The first pitch is a fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nakayama. Nakayama batting .250 on the season, no homers and 3 RBIs. Batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Nakayama, or right-handed throwing Fuji, that is. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Talking a little bit about, opening the stuff, and Steve Rademacher always opening different types of things and weird things at that too. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into center field. It's going to get down on a hop in front of the center fielder, Makihara. It's going to be a single here for Nakayama. I have to be honest with you. That pitch was way too good. It was an 0-2 pitch, and Fuji left that middle in. Nice piece of hitting there by Nakayama to stay inside the ball and hit a line drive up the middle. But you got a guy 0-2. You got to do something. You got to change the eye level, or you got to miss something down low or off of the plate. Can't leave that pitch middle in to be able to be hammered, and that's exactly what Nakayama did. Well, that's going to bring up the center fielder, Shinosuke Shigenobu. He is batting .400 on the year, a little deceiving. He's 4 for 10. He's got nothing on the home run and RBI department, but he does have 3 stolen bases. He's getting the start here this evening in center field for the Giants. So Shigenobu up to bat here. Another left-handed stick in the lineup as they throw over to first base, and diving back is Nakayama. Nakayama has a couple of stolen bases on the year. We'll have to keep an eye on him. He's not a prolific runner, that's for sure. Here comes the first offering to Shigenobu. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. That's the part that's got to drive managers crazy, is you get through the top part of the order, no problem, and then you get to the bottom part and you find a way, or they find ways to get on base and set the table for the top part of the order, because you got to think the Giants' top part is not going to be held quiet for very long. Here comes the 1-0. Instead, Fuji fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Nakayama. Interesting here, too, that Shigenobu's shown no signs of bunting in the 9th spot. One would think maybe they bunt him over and let Sakamoto and the others try to bang him home. But he shows no interest in bunting at this point. Here comes the 1-0. It's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the third base line. That's going to even the count to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. If Alexander Leggett's still listening in, he probably is while he's having his Sapporo. I was going to ask you, Alexander, are you still staying in government when you're working in D.C., or are you changing fields completely? Here comes the 1-1. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left center field. Moving over underneath it is Kondo. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to retire Shigenobu. So a bit of a wasted at bat there by Japanese standards, as that is going to be out number 1 here in the inning. That'll bring up the shortstop, Hayato Sakamoto. He says, I can't tell if Fuji is solid or if the Giants are just whiffing at it. I think you mean Giants, not the Hawks. I don't know. I'd like to see more of Fuji. Obviously, he hasn't walked anybody here in this game tonight. He did hit Akihiro in the first inning. Interesting, as he's struggled with his command of his pitches. He's walked a lot of batters so far this year. Coming into tonight's action, 21 batters walked in 43 innings. As he throws over to first base, and diving back in time again is Nakayama. For some reason, I had, Alexander, in the mind that you were working in I shouldn't say in government, indirectly in government, almost in a role that would service the government, but that's my mistake. Here comes the first offering, and there goes the runner. Here comes the throw down to second from Kai, and it's not in time. Actually, it looks like it was in time, but the ball had popped out of the glove of the second baseman, Momori. We're going to have to see that again. A good job by the umpire to hold his call. Sometimes the umpires are maligned for their calls or lack of calls. Certainly that second base umpire did well to let it play out where it was. The second baseman unable to hold on to the throw. We'll get the replay of it again. Actually, the ball ended up short hopping and getting away. That ball was in time. It's going to be a stolen base for Nakayama. Infielders have to catch balls. That's as plain and simple as that. But as plain and simple as that is, that didn't happen, and that's going to put Nakayama in scoring position. It's 1 ball and no strikes here to Sakamoto. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. Alexander Leggett says it would be sensible for 95% of the people living in D.C. Yeah, obviously, you're living in that area. It is going to be a lot of people are working in related type of jobs. I stayed a number of years ago in Dumfries, Virginia. I was actually in high school. We stayed in Dumfries, Virginia. We were back and forth. As there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-0 to Sakamoto. We made our journeys in and out. It's just the way it goes. So 3 balls and no strikes as the right-hander works to the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball, take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 3-1 on Sakamoto. Alex Header says the Yomiuri needs to go to our academy. Well, we have enough players that are struggling to be able to do that. Infielders have to stop balls. I got a funny story on that from a week or so ago, actually from last weekend when we were not calling games. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 3-2. Frustrated with my infielders, especially my middle guys who couldn't catch it cold. See what we have here is Sakamoto. That pitch was blown right by him. 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. And there was a hitter at the plate, and I'm sitting just at the edge of the first base dugout. And it was a hard ground ball that was hit. He yank pulled it, the kid did. And I jump off of my chair and field the ball with the bare hands. And then a few batters later, do the exact same thing again on a ball that was blistered. And I'm barking at my middle infielders about stopping balls. I'm saying, I don't even have a glove. You guys got to use your hands. Stop the damn ball. The young fellow coaching with me was getting a good laugh out of it. I thought it was pretty funny as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2 to Sakamoto. But you have to have a swagger when you're playing in the infield. You have to want balls come to you. You want to be able to make plays. You got to figure that you got to lay out. You got to get yourself dirty. There is a intensity that you have to take personal pride in playing defense. And so when you let little cheap things like that happen, this has put the runner in scoring position here. A base hit here puts the Giants in front, and then you can look at Yomiuri for not being able to stop a ball. It wasn't an error. The ball was short hopped into the base, but he needs to be able to make that catch. There's a fastball that misses down, and that's going to put runners at first and second as Sakamoto is now aboard with a walk. So runners at first and second here with 1 gone. That brings up the left fielder, Takayuki Kajitani, to the plate. Kajitani tonight 0 for 1. He popped out to the third baseman as he had his bat blown up in the first inning. But middle infielders who can't catch balls or stop balls drive you absolutely insane. So the runner at first, Sakamoto. The runner at second, Nakayama. Kajitani at the plate. As Fuji checks the runner over at second and he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that is poured in for a called strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Alexander says the manager looking utterly dismayed says it all. Yeah, certainly disgusted. No balls and 1 strike as the right-hander gets his sign from his catcher, Kai. I just have a feeling on a game like tonight, on the big stage, this could be a marathon. This could be a 3.5, 4 hour game. There's a fastball that just misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-1. Once we get past the 5th inning, probably a litany of pitching changes. So hopefully your beer is cold or your drinks have ice in it, because I have a feeling we're going to be here for a while. Last night's score, I think, was 10-6 final, although that game had a pretty decent clip to it. Tyler's in the house here tonight, and he says, let's go Giants. Appreciate you for listening in here, Tyler. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully you can join us again. We're going to probably be doing the Giants all through the midweek this week. That's my plan anyway. But if you're up at 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern, be sure to join us. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kajitani. So when you think of this inning, the way it started, it's not been a good inning for command by the pitches of Fuji. Started off with the mistake pitch on an 0-2 that Nakayama lined into center field for a single. And then the follies continue as the Giants couldn't advance the runner to second base. But then Nakayama stole second. That was only because Yomiuri dropped the ball. And then a walk to Sakamoto has the right-hander for the Hawks in a bit of trouble here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that is swung on and missed. That's a big strikeout right there. Kajitani goes in the books for out number 2. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuto Akihiro. Well, for Akihiro, he is making his second plate appearance. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. He got hit in the shin. It was a double shot, got him and the catcher Takuya Kai. So he bats here. He's officially 0 for 0. He's batting .321 on the year with 4 homers and 17 RBIs. Another big at bat here for Fuji to try to get out of potential jam here in the third. The first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Don't forget to bookmark the channel, as we will be back on the airwaves again throughout the week. We will be on Friday night as well. Just we won't be doing anything on the Saturday games on the weekend. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow left center field. Coming in on it is Kondo. He's calling everybody off. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it. Well, the Giants threaten, but they don't score. They leave a couple of runners aboard. There were no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left. We are now moving to the bottom of the third inning. Your score is the Giants 0 and the Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. It'll be 9-1-2 coming to bat when we return a little bit after this. We appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. Here is another one from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you for being here. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says our stream's a little fast. He saw the odds change maybe 10 seconds before the catch. Yeah, sometimes that's strange. Our stream maybe is a little quick tonight, but we also have a bit of a delay through the StreamYards application. So when that happens, that means that there's, I think, usually about a 7-second delay, maybe a little less. And that allows some time for that to happen as well. So you must be really behind. If you're 10 seconds, that's add another 6. You're probably about 15 seconds behind. Well, Takuya Kai comes to bat, followed by Nakamura and Makihara. Kai, the 9-hole hitter for the Hawks, enjoying a nice season by his standards. He's hitting .228 with 5 homers and 23 RBIs. I was looking at Kai earlier, and he is definitely not there for his bat. He is a defensive specialist and a very good one at that. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Living Room Sports is in the house. We welcome Josh to the stream. We were talking earlier tonight. We were saying about the NPB games and him making his picks and finding out just how tough it really is. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. Walking Spotted Bear says he hasn't got anything except for about a 15-second delay. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Takuya Kai's aboard with a leadoff single, and his hitting this year continues to impress. That's 5 home runs, as we said, by Kai. That's pretty good by his standards, too. Not bad out of the 9-hole. But certainly a base hit here to get things going for the Hawks in their half of the third inning. It's going to bring the top of the order, Akira Nakamura, to the plate. Well, for Nakamura, he was an absolute thorn in the side of Sagano in the first inning. He took him to a 10-pitch at bat before he struck out. He's fouling pitch after pitch after pitch away, really making the veteran right-hander work. So Nakamura here batting for the second time tonight. And here's the fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says his connection right now is a couple plays behind on basketball. Impossible to live bet. Yeah, you got to be quick triggered on. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 1-1. I remember when some of the live betting first started, and depending upon who you were with or wherever else, especially if you were at a game and you had your phone with you, you could be a couple of seconds ahead of what was happening in real time, and you can watch it and place something and be able to make it there. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. CV baseball card collector in the house. We welcome you to the show tonight. Appreciate you popping in. It's a good, healthy stream tonight with everybody here. Most of the regulars are checking in. Living Room Sports says he's hot with his CFL picks. I wonder how the Living Room would do with his World League of American Football picks if that still existed. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away down the third baseline. The count now is 1-2. That would have been interesting. Maybe a Scott Mitchell Orlando Solar Bear or whatever they were nicknamed. Or somebody from the Rhine Fire. So 1-2 strikes it is here to Nakamura. Batting with nobody out. And a runner on first here in the last half of the third inning. Sagano holds to the set position, and now he delivers. It is a split-finger pitch swung on. It's tapped in front of the plate. But they say it's a foul ball, says the home plate umpire. Oshiro got out there in a hurry. That might have been a shot for a double play. They might have been able to take care of Kai over at second and brought it back for the back end, just to where that ball was swung at. It was like a swinging bunt. So 1-2 strikes it is. So Nakamura here batting from the left side. Here's the offering now from Sagano. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Nakamura goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. It was a masterful piece of pitching as the right-hander was able to take a lot off of that breaking ball. Nakamura down for out number one here in the inning. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Makihara. And you could see Nakamura, he felt foolish as he waved through that pitch. Way out in front. That was pitch number 50 of the ball game here for Sagano. Certainly not efficient in the pitch categories right now. That's his second strikeout, and both of them were Nakamura. Well, for Taisi Makihara, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He's raised his season average up to 310. The first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Now it looks like Sagano is starting to get himself into a bit of a groove. Living Room says, requesting a slot car. Steve says he doesn't have any. That's the way it goes. Here is the 0-1 pitch to the left-handed hitting Makihara. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Moving back underneath it and making the catch is Kajitani, and that's going to retire Makihara for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone with Takuya Kai at first. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Kazuki Kondo. Well, for Kondo, tonight he is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Kondo is enjoying himself a nice first season in a Fukuoka uniform, as we had mentioned before, coming over in an off-season trade with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. His average has slipped a bit as he's now hitting .271 on the year. 8 homers and 32 runs driven in. Here's the pitch from Sagano. It's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kondo waggling the bat, gets himself reset in the batter's box. talking about this the other day. One of our listeners who listens to the games on delay sent me a message. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-0. And I'm wondering how long until the pitch clock comes to the NPB? Next year? Year after? Generally speaking, the Japanese will follow suit with what the Americans will do, especially if they're going to get into international tournaments where the pitch clock might be used. Start preparing their players to play in a certain way. I think if they did it, they would probably do it in the farm division first and then bring it back up. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 3-0 on Kondo. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says he just saw an awful call and he challenged on a catch in left field in the Mariner Angel game. There was a incident today in the Phillies game where Rob Thompson, the manager of the Phillies, got ejected. I'll comment on that in just a moment here. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Sagano delivers a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. Kondo is going to be aboard with a walk, and that's going to advance Takuya Kai to second. That's going to bring Yuki Yanagita to the plate with runners at first and second. Aaron Nola was on the mound, and he had the baseball, and he threw the baseball out of play, and he asked the home plate umpire for a new ball. When the home plate umpire delivered the ball, they never reset the pitch clock. Well, he got the ball at about 9 or 10 seconds, and so by the time he got to the mound, it ended up being a ball to the count. They added a ball to the count by the time he was ready to get going, so they never reset the clock upon the new ball. Well, Thompson came out and was absolutely fired up about that, and he ended up getting run. That's something in terms of clarity. If a pitcher asks for a new ball, and if it's granted, but I will say this, I think Aaron Nola just took the ball and threw it out of play, and when he threw it out of play, then he asked for the new ball. Well, if you ask for a new ball and you throw it to the catcher, I can definitely see that, but if you just chuck it out of play, I don't know if that's something that is in the rule or not. So here comes the first offering to Yuki Yanagita. Sagano checks the runners and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Yanagita 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Yanagita's average has slipped below 300. He's now hitting 299 on the year. Another powerful bat in the Fukuoka lineup. He's got 9 home runs. Certainly him and Kondo pairing together. There's word on the street, it is going to be, they brought back Vladimir Valentin, I believe, or is it Alfredo Despania? It's Alfredo Despania is going to be making a return to the Fukuoka lineup. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 2-0. Despania, of course, the longtime Cuban player in the Fukuoka lineup as a designated hitter. Apparently, he was playing, I think, in the Mexican League, if I'm not mistaken, and Fukuoka has come calling, wanted his presence back. Obviously, Willens Astudillo, Freddie Galvis from the international offensive side of things for Fukuoka, not getting the job done like they'd like. Here comes the 2-0. Sagano checks the runner at second and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. That's going to run the count to 3-0. Oh boy, that pitch looked pretty good. Not good enough for the home plate umpire, and that's the one who ultimately it matters. So Sagano is one of the more interesting characters on the mound. He doesn't necessarily hold back his emotions. You can see he lets you know through his body language and through some of his facial effects what he actually thinks of the call. Here comes the 3-0. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. So back-to-back walks here in the third inning have the bases loaded. And all this trouble really is starting to come with 2 outs. That's going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout on a full sprint to the mound as he wants to talk to his right-hander. The whole infield is now up on the top of the mound. They're going to talk about how they're going to face Tetsuro Yanagamachi. A friend, a Walking Spotted Bear said about, did you happen to see Hendricks start at the Padres last week? No, I didn't, but I did see the start that he made today against the Giants, 7 2/3 no-hit innings. And then it was, if I remember correctly, it was Mitch Haniger broke it up with a double. in the 8th inning. I don't know what the final outcome of that game was, but certainly Kyle Hendricks pulling rabbits out of his hat and being an absolute magician. Well, the bases are loaded, and Yanagamachi at the plate. He's walked his first time up. So right-hander against the left-hander. Sagano kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to just get into the seats behind the temporary seating. So no balls and 1 strike to Yanagamachi. Fred Walking Spotted Bear said that Hendricks was absolutely getting hosed by the umpires last week. Yeah, it's unfortunate that happens. I was looking at a stat earlier. We were talking about it earlier in the stream. As here comes the offering from the right-hander, and it is a fastball that misses. Oh, a late call from the home plate umpire. He goes up with the right hand. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Yanagamachi. Interesting. Takuya Kai was already up out of his crouch and ready to throw the ball back, and the late call from I shouldn't say Takuya Kai, it was Oshiro, the catcher for the Giants. Certainly not a hometown call for the Hawks. So no balls and 2 strikes. Sagano gets the sign from Oshiro. He nods in his acceptance. Here we go. Here comes the 0-2. As the batter waggles the bat. Sagano checks the runners. Now he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This is tap foul over on the first base side, and the count goes to 1-2. One of the stats I was looking at earlier was the number of ejections. What manager leads in ejections this year or last year? Last year, Aaron Boone was ejected 9 times. There was nobody even close. And he is right at the top of the heap again this year. Boone and David Bell of the Reds, I believe, have each been ejected 5 times. In some ways, you would like to thought that arguments would be down and ejections would be down because of replay. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined right to the third baseman, Okamoto. Oh boy, that was destined for the left field corner. And Sugimoto can be very fortunate. And that is going to be it. And interesting here is we have Fujimoto coming out. I wonder if the Hawks are going to be making a pitching change here. We're going to see what's going to happen here in just a couple minutes. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in a few, as that is going to do it here for the 3rd inning. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left the board. We are now through 3 complete innings. It is the Hawks no score and the Giants no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this from our friend Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are waiting here to see if it is going to be a pitching change or a defensive change here for the Hawks, as manager Fujimoto had a slow walk out to talk to the umpire, and we are a bit of a delay here as Takuya Kai is getting his stuff ready to go. We're going to see exactly what has happened here. And by the looks of it, the manager has indicated to Kai that it looks like it was maybe something in the ribs or something in the abdominal area. So maybe that is what is happening. So we're going to get ourselves, it looks like a pitching change, but we don't have any update on that yet. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. It looks like Fuji's day is done. Oh, and it looks like we do have Ogata in the game. So we are ready to go. I thought we might be having a little longer delay if it was an injury change, but looks like it's probably going to be an oblique muscle based on what we're looking at in the description of what Fujimoto had to say. So here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner to Kaz Okamoto, and the count is quickly 0-1. Okamoto 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up against Fuji. So that's not good that they've had to go to the bullpen early here tonight for the Hawks. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. So we'll have to get you working on some quick updates here as far as that information of where we're at in this one. As we said, that one slight change. There's a fastball swung on, and it is fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. Balls and 2 strikes. Caught us a little bit off guard as well, as the Hawks had to go to their bullpen. So Ogata is in the ball game, and there's a breaking ball that just misses. I'm not sure where that missed. That looked pretty darn good. So Takato Ogata on in relief as the second pitcher now used here by the Hawks. The fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field, moving over underneath it. The left fielder Kondo, he's going to make the catch, and Okamoto is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. So for Ogata, this is only his 3rd appearance of the year. He's worked in 2 ball games before, 2 innings pitched. He's not given up a hit. He's not walked anybody. He has a strikeout, no runs. He's got an ERA of 0. This is his 4th year with the Fukuoka Ball Club for Ogata. This is his 21st NPB appearance for the young right-handed pitcher. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Oshiro. Oshiro 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to the catcher his first time up. If there is a side benefit to this, Ogata is working at a quick pace. Fuji was working in his own world in his own time. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes now to Oshiro. So if anything, the game pace will pick up here. And there is a pitch that is delivered that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. Shonakata waiting his turn on deck. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that just misses inside. Count goes to 2-2. Our friend Alexander Leggett has made a decision. He says that, I think he said, was it Sapporo is not on that as well? Trevor Parker in the house tonight. Didn't see you in there, Trevor. You and Alexander Leggett's colors look very similar. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. Alexander Leggett was saying that he is not giving Sapporo a thumbs up. He'll stay with his Pabst Blue Ribbon, I think it was. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear asked the question that, do Asian players argue like they do in America? You go back about 30 years ago in the game, not only were there a lot of arguments, but there was a lot of fighting in Japanese baseball. Bench clearing brawls. The game had a real ugly tone. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul past the first base bag, and the count remains at 2-2. One of the brawls I remember, or at least that you can pull it up on YouTube, was when Rod Allen was playing overseas. I think he was with the Hiroshima Carp at the time. And I believe they were playing the Chinichi Dragons, and the pitcher for the Dragons drilled him. And he chased them all the way out into left field, all around the field. As that fastball misses upstairs, it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Oshiro. But it was definitely an interesting situation. And so, yeah, they used to have a lot more tense moments. There's a fastball that is swung on and is lifted up into shallow center field. Moving back underneath it is the shortstop, and that's going to be hauled in by Nomura. And Oshiro's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. That'll leave it all up to the first baseman, Shonakata. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says that he thinks that with the base stealing back in the MLB, it is much more exciting. Just got to get the bunts, and they've got to get the hit and runs back in the game. That'll make the game a little bit more entertaining as well. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Problem is that when you're trying to hit home runs and you're trying to teach young hitters to elevate balls rather than making consistent hard contact, it's a little bit different. There's a fastball swung on it, is taken on one hop by the second baseman, Yomiuri. He throws to first. That's going to retire Nakata on a ground out, 4-3. And that'll do it here in the fourth inning for the Giants. They got no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. They go in order. It is the Giants no score, the Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few after this. We appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher once again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out for all your entertaining needs. And we are going to be bringing you back here as we're moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. Coming to bat is going to be Kurihara, Nomura, and Yomiuri for the Hawks, as they'll be facing Sagano here as he comes out for inning number 4. Hawks already into their bullpen, as we said. Fujimoto, when he was walking off the field with Takuya Kai, was pointing to the abdominal area that he had looked like maybe a lat muscle or maybe an oblique had been pulled. And I don't want to say that for sure, but we can speculate based on the motions that he had provided to his catcher. So here comes Sagano. He threw 64 pitches in his first 3 innings of work, and there is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line, and it's just going to hook foul into the netting. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Kurihara. So no balls and 1 strike. Talking a little bit about the violence in the Japanese baseball a number of years ago, there were a few players that were just really firecrackers. Another one was, if I'm not mistaken, was Charlie Manuel. Charlie Manuel, the former manager of the Phillies, and I think he was involved with the Cleveland Indians at one time, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 0-2. So with Charlie Manuel, he was hit in the jaw. I believe he was playing for the Kintetsu Buffaloes, which obviously are now the Oryx Buffaloes when the Oryx Blue Wave and Kintetsu Buffaloes merged together. And he had his jaw broken, and he was wearing the football type piece in front of his face for the broken jaws. That fastball misses down, and the count is 1-2. But I don't know all the surrounding stories around that particular incident, but I also understood there was some payback or there was some violence that went with it. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as Sagano rocks into the delivery. And there's a breaking ball that is grounded softly over to second. Fielded on the run by the second baseman, Nakayama, who throws to first, and Kurihara is going to be erased on a ground out 4-3. First out of the inning here, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Isami Nomura. Alexander Leggett says the number 1 would have been the Team Honey cheerleaders, still number 1. Alexander asked the question. He says, do you know if the Japanese baseballs are tacked like MLB balls are? Here's the first pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on it as pop foul. It's going to reach the luxury boxes behind home plate. That's going to run the count to 0-1 to Nomura. I'm not exactly sure where they're at with the baseballs now in Japan. I know when Major League Baseball a few years ago went to the low seam balls as opposed to the higher seam balls, obviously to try to reduce the amount of movement, cut, run on the pitches. There's a fastball that comes inside and it is hit Nomura. That's the hit by pitch. That's now each team has 1 in the books. As Nomura is going to be awarded first base on an 0-1 pitch. That ball got away from Sagano, hit the batter on the tricep. So he's aboard with 1 out, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Masaki Momori. So back to the question about the baseballs. So Major League Baseball went to the low seam balls a few years ago. I don't know exactly if Major League Baseball is tacking the balls a little bit, where they're a little bit more, have a little bit more, what I would say, grip, or a little bit different. But there was a big controversy in Japan a few years ago. I think it was about 7-8 years ago. The commissioner of the NPB had to resign because they admitted that they were using juiced balls. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Nomura. And Momori's got himself a single. And now the Hawks are in business as they got runners on the corners with 1 out. And it'll be Takuya Kai coming to the plate. And so for those of you who are with us here, Takuya Kai, let's keep an eye on him if we're going to see a bunt in this situation. So we're talking about guys who can bunt. This could be a ripe situation for it here in a 0-0 ball game with runners on the corners. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I would expect it to happen. So keep your eyes peeled here. So Momori, the runner at first with the single. Nomura, the runner at third after being hit by the pitch. Going to third on the single by Momori, and Takuya Kai coming to the dish. Kai 1 for 1 tonight. He singled in the third inning. As we had mentioned, he's off to a great start this year. But I would think if I'm in this situation here, I'm going to try to push one down the first base line. And the defense here is coming out into their first and third. You got to wonder if they're talking first and third or they're talking bunt D. I'd be flashing a couple of sets of signs here. One for my first and third off or defense and one for my bunt defense. So let's see what happens here. Kai waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Sagano. I would not be surprised if they threw over to first base. Let's see if they can read the hands. No, they don't. And he does square to bunt, and it's popped up right behind home plate, and that is going to be a catch by Oshiro. And that, the manager, Fujimoto, he just says it all. That retires Kai. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Nakamura. What do you think of that? It had all the markings of the possibility of a squeeze or a safety squeeze. He popped it right up on the plate. Oshiro makes the grab. And now the Giants breathe a sigh of relief. And the Hawks manager is just shaking his head. They can't get it done. It just says it all. He's got his arms crossed and his eyes closed, leaning back. Probably needs some smelling salts after that one. Well, you could just see it coming. The way this game is playing out here, you've got Kai, and Kai is, in fairness to him, pretty good bunter. Maybe not as good as Kenta Imamiya, but had the opportunity to get one down. Trevor says he wants to get to the top of the fifth at zeros. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nakamura. Nakamura tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out both times. Yeah, Trevor says, I want to get to the top 5 at 0-0. Well, the way things have been going here, they have not been able to do anything in the clutch when there have been runners on base. 5 runners left aboard so far for Fukuoka in their first 3 innings. The Giants have also left 3 on in their first 4. Here comes the 0-1. There's a fastball. They go down to second, but it's a pump fake. They're going to eat it. It's going to be a stolen base for Momori as he takes second on the non-throw. Runner Nomura is going to hold at third, and that's going to run the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike on Nakamura. Alexander Leggett says 3.5 is too much. This is where it'll get exciting in the 5th inning. That's usually where there can be lots of runs that can be scored. We're all locked up at zeros here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. I wanted to get back to Alexander Leggett there a bit ago as he was not happy with his Sapporo. One of the best beers I've ever had in my life was at the Asahi Brewery in Tokyo, an Asahi Super Dry. And if you want to go to the Asahi Brewery, what you do is you go up to the top floor. I think it's on, I don't know, the 24th floor or whatever it is. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. And this ball is going to slice into the temporary seating, and that's going to run the count to 2-2 on Nakamura. So the observatory of the city, you go up on a beautiful day, and you can get just as good a view as you can from Skytree. Skytree, of course, was the largest standing free structure in the world until the one in, I believe, Malaysia took over it. But I went into the Asahi Brewery, and for admission to get to the observatory, it's basically the cost of a beer. You have to buy a drink, or if you're underage, then it's a pop or something. But the Asahi Super Dry, absolutely legit. Really good beer on a day. It's too bad they didn't give you good snacks or good food up there to go with it. Here comes the 2-2. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to get 1 run in. And that is going to get 2 runs in. And the Hawks have now taken the lead 2-0 as Nakamura's got himself a single, driving in a pair here. And it is now a 2-0 ball game for Fukuoka here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And right away, our folks that are in the chat are probably throwing stuff because that is not going to get you the 0-0 score line going to the top of the 5th inning. That's going to bring up Taisi Makihara to the plate, who is 1 for 2 today. So Akira Nakamura striking out the first 2 times against Sagano made him pay this time around. 2-0, the Hawks are now in the lead. Makihara now stepping to the plate, ready to face Sagano. As he leans in, he gets the sign from his catcher, Oshiro. Here's the pitch, and it is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And just like that, some of the people in our chat clear out because they must have been cheering for the Giants or wanting a similar score to that of what our friend Trevor Parker wanted. So no balls and 1 strike as Sagano holds to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. We'll do a quick roundup around the scores. 1-0. The Tigers are leading the Fighters in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1 Swallows have a lead over the Lions. That's in the bottom of the 6th. That game's moving along a lot quicker than this one. 8-3 the Bay Stars are leading the Buffaloes. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. 0-0 between the Carp and the Marines. That was the other game we were looking at. That game's in the bottom of the 2nd. There is a split finger pitch swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. The count is going to remain at 2-2. We were looking at maybe doing that game between the Carp and the Marines, but there was a questionable weather forecast for that one. Roki Sasaki was going for the Marines. That was why we were looking at maybe doing that one. Eagles and the Dragons postponed because of rain. Don't know when that one's going to get made up. We're going to take a look to see if they've made an announcement. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as Sagano holds set, now delivers. It's a split finger pitch swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 0-2. 81 pitches for the Giant right-hander here in the 4th inning. Definitely not the most economical night for him. So here comes the 0-2 offering as he leans in, gets the sign from Oshiro. He works set to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly to second. Fielded neatly by Nakayama, who throws to first. And that is going to do it. Makihara down for the 3rd out of the inning, but they get some runs in the inning to the Hawks. They had 2 runs in the inning on the 2-run single by Akira Nakamura. There was 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 4 complete innings. It is your score, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2 and the Yomiuri Giants no score. Stick around. We'll be back with the top of the 5th in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for being in here with us tonight. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this from our friend, Steve Rademacher.
Hey guys, Steve come back at you again. Steve Rademacher, that is. And during this intermission, let's open up a package of Garbage Pail Kids Series 4 Chrome, shall we? See what we get, then we'll come right back to the game with Freddy. Oh, very nice. I got a Ruptured Rupert. Very nice. We have a Jules Brooks to go right along with everyone's favorite Def Jeff. Sorry about the glare, but that's what Chrome do. We did get a Mosquito. You know, that's Wisconsin State bird right there. And the cracked ice is a Pinned Penny. Gotta love Garbage Pail Kids. Gotta love Freddy. Gotta love baseball. See you next time.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you. It is going to be Maru Nakayama and Shigenobu to come to bat here in the bottom of the fifth inning, as the bullpen has already been called upon by the Hawks, as the starter Fuji's night was done after 3 innings. They had to go to the bullpen, and they had brought on the reliever Ogata, and he's still in the ball game. So the Fukuoka right-hander, this is Shuto Ogata, delivers a first pitch fastball upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. There's another fastball delivered, and that one also misses, and the count now goes to 2-0 to Maru. Maru had a good start to the season, but his batting average has fallen off significantly. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. If it stays fair, it's trouble. And this ball is gone. A home run for Maru. That ball was a frozen rope hit right down the right field line, and it got out in a hurry. I don't know what the exit speed on that one was, but I'm going to say it had to be north of 110 miles an hour. That ball was absolutely blistered, and they have cut into the lead. It is now 2-1 for the Hawks here in the fifth inning. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Fredo Nakayama. That was a no-doubter. Fastball middle in. Well, they say 175 kilometers per hour. So when we walk that back, that is almost, well, it was a little short, 109 miles. That was my guess. I was a mile off. But that ball exited in a hurry. Here's the pitch delivered, and it is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count goes even to 1-1 on Nakayama. I have to make sure I stay with this pitcher, Ogata. He moves quickly. Now, our friend Nash is in the house tonight. He stopped in last weekend, and we're glad you popped in again tonight. Didn't get a chance. I was busy, frustrated, throwing things around, not being able to get the stream going, as that fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. Appreciate you for popping in. Hopefully you can join us once in a while again this year. We were taking attendance, so we missed you quite a bit earlier on. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Ogata gets his sign, and now he rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted, foul over towards the third base dugout, but that ball is going to get into the seats just above the screen, and that's going to keep the count at 2-2. Yeah, we had a pretty good turnout for the game that we never had. A lot of people were here. I was disappointed. I was mad. I was really ticked off. And we hadn't done a game for a bit. Had some stuff. We just had things going on, and that left a bitter taste in my mouth. There was a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 3-2 on Nakayama. One would have to think that it's probably going to be a pair of innings here for Ogata, maybe another pair of innings for one of their other relievers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. A nice play going to his glove side by the shortstop, Nomura. He does a 360 and fires to first, and that's going to retire Nakayama on a ground out 6-3. Oh, what a play. That's going to be a web gem. If you guys are on Instagram, go look for that one as a Pacific League highlight of the night. He had to go to his left, ranging up the middle, does the spin, gets his feet under control, and fires out the runner by a half a step. What a play there by Nomura. He is going to retire Nakayama for the first out of the inning. One away, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Shinosuke Shigenobu. So here comes the first offering, and it's a split finger that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Ash says, unfortunately, didn't have time for NPB hours. He's back on a good schedule these days now. Well, that's good. Well, hopefully you can make it in for a little bit. We're going to be on the weird ones in the middle of the night. As that split finger misses down, the count is 2-0 this week. We'll finish off some Interleague. And then the following week, what we're going to do is, or we'll be on Friday, but we're not going to be on Saturday night next week because I'll be on the island. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats. Count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Friend Walking Spotted Bear says he tried us that night as well. We were just playing around with the pieces. That one was a bit of a hard one to be able to get. Could get every other game except for the game we wanted. Here's the 2-1. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Shigenobu. That was the disappointing and frustrating piece. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 3-2. Not sure about that one. That one looked like it was a little bit up and a little bit in. But it's the home plate umpire who makes the decisions. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded up the middle. This one's got eyes, and it's going to see its way into center field as Shigenobu is going to get himself a base hit. And he's got himself a single, and his hot hitting continues. He's now 5 for 12 on the season. Hasn't played a ton for the Giants, but if he keeps swinging the bat like he is, he's going to find his name in the lineup more frequently. Good approach at the plate as he's able to take that one up the middle into center field, and that will bring up the top of the order in Hayato Sakamoto. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out to have a few words with his right-handed reliever. Nash said it's good to see that Bauer had another good start. Yeah, we were on the call of that one the other night. As I said before, when I'm in Japan, some of the people that have been on the stream, when I'm into Japan, I'm going to try to link up with the aforementioned one. We're going to see if we can get something done. I haven't had any direct communication with him. It's going to have to go through the agent first. So we'll see if we can get down there or not. I have some connections here. The agent that we know, obviously, Rachel Luba, I don't know her personally. She does advise and represent a couple of people that have trained with us. So the connection is there, and we're going to reach out here in the next month or so, and hopefully we can make that happen. It would be kind of funny able to do that. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. I've been watching some of it, Bauer's breakdown videos just on how he attacks hitters and what he sees and what he's looking for on the videos, and very interesting stuff. He was breaking down an at-bat against Shogo Akiyama the other day, just talking about filing some information away to see what Akiyama would do, especially the way Akiyama was clearing his hips, letting the hips go a little earlier to try to take a pitch on the inside corner and maybe try to drive or pull it. Anticipating cheating a little bit. Hayato Sakamoto, the batter here, with the runner at first and 1 gone. Got a hold set, now delivers. There's a breaking ball. There goes the runner down to second. That throw is in the dirt, and it's going to get into center field. And getting up and heading over to third is going to be the runner, Shigenobu. That's his 4th stolen base of the year. He's going to go to third on the throwing error by Takuya Kai. And again, they've got to stop the ball at second base due to the middle infielders. As I look at that one there, again, it was Momori. That's the second time tonight he's been unable to come up with the ball. You got to at least stop the ball. If you can't catch it, you got to stop the darn thing. But let's see what's happened here. They've got they've actually held the runner up at second base. So he didn't advance over to third. It looks like they've held him up. But it's going to be a stolen base there for Shigenobu. So no error charged to Takuya Kai. Looked like he was taking off to go, but I guess he didn't make it. We have to get the replay on that one. There's a fastball that misses up. It's now 3-0 to Sakamoto. Alexander Leggett says, yeah, it's not the interviews. It's actually the breakdowns that Bauer is doing on his own. where he's got the video and he's showing you how he's pitching to certain players and what he's doing to attack them. And he's doing his own analysis. It's kind of funny. It's actually kind of cool. At least what's going through the mind of Trevor Bauer. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball that misses outside, and that's going to be ball 4. Sakamoto is going to be aboard with a walk, and that's going to put runners at first and second with 1 gone. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Kajitani, and it's going to bring the manager, Fujimoto, out. I think he has seen enough here. All right, everybody. Well, it looks like we're going to the bullpen as the night for Ogata is over. Hang tight. We've got some more entertainment from our friend Steve Rademacher. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the pitching changes.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rademacher come back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool. To go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Appreciate you there, Steve. Looks like we have not only a pitching change, it's going to be a left-hander coming into the ball game, as Kajitani's day's been done, but it also looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Giants to go along with this. So we'll get you all caught up here. It looks like it's Okoye who's coming in to hit, but it is the left-hander. This is going to be number 56, Taru, in the ball game. And so this is Fumamaru Taru. And so for Taru, this is his 21st appearance of the year. He's worked 17 1/3 innings. He has allowed 11 hits. He has walked 5. He has struck out 18, and he's got an ERA of 0.52. What's also alarming is he has drilled 4 batters in his 17 1/3 innings of work. So that is where we stand here. So it is going to be Taru in the ballgame in relief. And one would expect he's not going to be here for long based on those numbers. But he is going to be facing a pinch hitter in Okoye here. We'll get you the specs on him as well. So it's not Christian Okoye, the one-time running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. It is Rui Okoye. And he is coming to bat here, the former Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle. He's got himself 93 at-bats this year. He is batting .247. He's got a couple of homers and 6 RBIs. So Okoye to face Taru here in the 5th inning. Our friend Living Room says a Steve Rademacher speed run. That would be it. So here we go. Here comes Okoye in to hit for the left fielder Kajitani. And the first offering ready to come here from Taru. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is hammered through the 4-hole into right field. Charging hard, and he's bobbled the ball is the right fielder, Yanagamachi. And a poor read there by the base runner, rounding around third. Not a good decision, either by the runner at third or the third base coach, not recognizing that Yanagamachi had bobbled the ball. They've held the runner up at third. And that's going to be a single for Okoye. It's going to advance Sakamoto over to second. It is going to move Shigenobu over to third. Oh, boy. I think they might want to have a do-over on that one, depending upon where the third base coach was. He did come down the line, but that third base coach has got to get himself far enough down the line that he's got to be able to see both of the things happening and certainly get him around the corner. And the slightest little bobble, he should have been able to take the plate to tie the ball game, but that's now going to bring up Yuto Akihiro, who is 0 for 1 in this one here tonight. Bases are loaded full of Giants. So lefty against the lefty now, as here comes the first offering from Taru, and it is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. It'll be followed by Kaz Okamoto here if the inning can continue on. But circle that on your scorecard if this game here ends up being 2-1 at the end of this half inning. They've left runs on the board, potentially. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Well, that takes care of that. Picking it up is Yanagamachi. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is almost cut off by the first baseman. It ends up trickling over his glove right to Takuya Kai. It's going to be a single and 1 RBI for Akihiro. It's going to tie the ball game up at 1. In to score is Shigenobu. Probably now should be a 3-2 ball game for the Giants. Advancing to third is Sakamoto. And Okoye is now the runner at second. That's going to bring Kaz Okamoto to the plate. Our friend Ronnie asked the question, is it 1 out? As of right now, that is all there is out, is Nakayama. As he had grounded to the shortstop. So we've got bases full of Giants. And we have another conference on the mound here. So that looks like that is it. 2 batters faced for the pitcher Taru, and his night is over. He allows back-to-back singles, and they're going to the bullpen again, are the Hawks. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. As this game is now 2-2, bases loaded, 1 out, as we are in the top of the 5th inning. Our poor friend Trevor Parker must be losing his mind. He was hoping for 0-0 in 5, and it's now 2-2. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Welcome back, everybody. Well, this is going to be pitcher number 4 used here now by the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, as they're going to go to a right-hander. It's going to be Takeda coming into the ball game. So it is Shota Takeda. He is coming in. He is making his 5th appearance of the year. He's got no wins and 2 losses. He's worked 9 1/3 innings. He's allowed 18 hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 6. Has a fluffed-up ERA of 8.68. So he is coming into a difficult situation here, as he is going to have to come in. He is a longtime veteran of the Hawks. Began his career with Fukuoka back in 2012. He was the first pick in the 2011 draft. And so he is 30 years old, is the right-hander, a veteran as such. They got themselves in a pickle here, do the Hawks, and they're trying to wiggle themselves out of it. So Shota Takeda in here, and the going to be Kaz Okamoto coming to the plate. Okamoto with 15 home runs on the year, 34 RBIs. He is in a position that he is definitely accustomed to and he enjoys to hit in. Traditionally, the number 18 is given to the team's ace. That is what Takeda wears. I don't know if we can consider Takeda the ace of the staff for the Hawks. Certainly, Sagano wears 18. Think of other players around the NPB. Yoshinobu Yamamoto did not start with 18, but he wears it. That is what this pitcher wears here. He does not have the numbers to show it for it over the course of his career that he would be considered an ace, but yet that's where it is. Nash says the Hawks are lucky to have this game tied. Well, in some ways, so are the Giants, because the Hawks have had some opportunities to cash in some more runs. Obviously, that opportunity with Takuya Kai popping out. Now, they were fortunate to get a couple of runs after that, but bunting into a pop-out in that situation in that last inning. Well, here comes Kai as he's asked for time. They haven't even thrown a pitch yet, and he's got to come out and talk to his pitcher and go over what they're doing here. So the bases are full of Giants. There's 1 gone here in the top of the 5th inning. Kaz Okamoto at the plate. The runner at third is Sakamoto. Okoye is at second, and Akihiro, the runner, at first. I thought the way this game would go is that we would see a low-scoring affair. Well, This could turn into another 10-6 ball game. And I did say at the top of the stream that this may not be a 3-hour ball game tonight. This might turn into a 4-hour ball game between these two teams. Here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that just misses for ball one, and the count is 1-0 to Okamoto. So right away into a good hitter's count. 1 ball and no strikes. So much for a late night walkabout. After midnight, probably be about 1 o'clock if I have to make a walkabout. So 1 ball and no strikes. Okamoto 0 for 2 in this one. He is struck out and flown to left. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. There's nowhere to put him for Takita. He's going to have to give him something to hit, and Okamoto is going to have to dial himself up here, ready to do some damage. Doesn't look like he and Kai are on the same page. Takita or Kai working through the signals. Here comes the 2-0. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into left center field. Racing over and making the catch is the center fielder, Makihara, tagging at third and coming home to score. And the Giants now have a 3-2 lead. Sacrifice fly to center field. That's going to be an RBI for Okamoto. Sakamoto tags and scores. That's going to bring home the 3rd run of the ball game. Now there's 2 out, and that's with runners at first and second. And it's going to bring the catcher Oshiro to the dish. Well, Oshiro tonight is 0 for 2. He's popped to the catcher and he's popped to short. As he strides to the plate here with runners at first and second and 2 gone, but the Giants have already punched 3 runs across. I have to say, it is an entertaining ball game, though. We do have lots of action in this. Can't say that it's boring by any stretch of the imagination. Problem is we haven't got to the pitching portion of the game yet. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped over to first, and it is just gone foul, says the first base umpire. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. We got to look at that one ourselves, and oh boy, the first base umpire right on the call. Like that ball may have come back a little bit. Take a quick peek as we're finishing off this half inning around the scores from around the league. Still 1-0 for the Tigers over the Fighters. 3-2 for the Swallows over the Lions. That's in the bottom of the 7th inning. Marines are up 4-0 now on the Carp. That is in the bottom of the 3rd. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now is 0-2 to Oshiro. Bay Stars 8-3 lead over the Buffaloes. Of course, this one's 3-2 now for the Giants. What do we learn from that? It learned that the Central League have a 4-1 advantage tonight over the Pacific League, which would put them at 36 wins to 33 if all those scores held up tonight. Here's the 0-2. Fastball that misses upstairs for ball, and the count goes to 1-2 on Oshiro. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Friend Alexander Leggett says it's quite the ball game tonight. It has been very entertaining, that's for sure. Seesaw affair. Expect the power arms to be coming out of the pen in another inning or so. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And that inning is finally over, as that is going to do it here in the top of the 5th inning. But there was damage done and lots of it. There were 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning, it is a 3-2 ball game for the Giants over the Hawks. We'll be back in just a few. We'll update our scoreboard. We'll give you some more cheerleaders to look at. Three, 2, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Thanks for popping in here with us. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat. It's going to be Kondo, Yanagita, and Yanagamachi for the Hawks here in the 5th inning. And to think, here we were a couple innings ago, and our friend Trevor Parker, who was listening in with us tonight, was hoping for 0-0 going to the top of the 5th inning. And how we got a 3-2 ball game. And ever since he's come out and said that, it's been runs galore. So if Trevor's still listening in, I don't know what other predictions you want to make here. And it is Trevor, but if you do, it might be gasoline on the fire. And we have a full 5-alarm blaze going on here in Fukuoka now with runs all over the place. So the Hawks are coming to bat here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 3, 4, and 5, as we said, come to bat against Sagano. Sagano rocks into the windup as Kondo waiting on the first offering. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away for ball 1. The count is 1-0. One would have to think this is going to be the last inning for Sagano, as he is working north of 80 pitches. Here comes the 1-0. As this is going to be pitch number 84 to be delivered here. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. Not quite the way I think that he wants to start the inning as the giant right-hander. As we mentioned, tomorrow night, it looks like that there is going to be a ball game that is going to be played, and we'll take a peek at that in just a moment. Here's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-1. It looks like it's going to be at the Azozo Marine Stadium, but I don't even know. I'm not even confident that that game may or may not even take place. They're calling for rain again, or at least to start tomorrow, so it might be a later start. It's the Marines and the Carp. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 3-1 on Kondo. That's what they're saying anyways. So Marines and Carp tomorrow night. We'll have to stay tuned on that one. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into right center field, moving underneath it and making the catch as the center fielder is Shigenobu, and that is going to retire Kondo for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring Yuki Yanagita to the plate. It looked like he just got underneath that one a little too much. I thought he got more of it than what he did. It also didn't get it in the sweet spot. It was more down the handle of the bat. But then we are looking at more likely giving 3 games with the Giants and the Lions on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And possibly even the Friday game with the Eagles and the Giants if we stay with that entire series. Although part of me, as the fastball is swung on and fouled away and the count's 0-1 to Yanagita, part of me on Friday would like to do that game between the Buffaloes and the Swallows. That game would go off at 6 o'clock or 1800 hours local time, 6 p.m. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. It's getting to be a busy inning here for Shigenobu, who's going to make the catch. 2 up and 2 away, both to the center fielder, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. But I'm thinking that's going to be the case. Now, I will wait to see if they're going to make a decision on that game that was rained out tonight. What we would decide to do. If they play that one tomorrow between the Dragons and the Eagles, then maybe we would stay with that one. That game might be a little bit more competitive. So here comes the first offering to Yanagamachi. It's a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball. I'm just reading through the chat as Nash asked the question about the KBO. Fastball misses outside. I think Alexander Leggett said, to me, it's a top-heavy league, the KBO. There's 2 or 3 teams at the top who could play for all intents and purposes with teams in the NPB. There's no doubt about it. But some of those bottom teams in the KBO are really, really bottom, as there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. I think a better question with some of those bottom feeders in the KBO is, can they play with the farm teams of the NPB? And I don't say that jokingly. I say that with full seriousness. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Sagano has retired to side 1-2-3. That's the first time he's done that tonight. He made it look easy. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. And your score, as we are now through 5 innings, it is the Giants 3 and the Hawks 2. It is what we like to call the Japanese halftime. And we're going to take ourselves a little break. We're going to put the video on loop as we're going to go get ourselves a cup of coffee and be able to keep us going here for the next little bit. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you all for listening in. And we will be back in just a few, so stay with us. We're going to get ourselves that drink of coffee to keep us flowing here tonight. We'll be right back. Welcome back to everybody. We are just about to begin the action here, as it is going to be it's going to be Nakata, Maru, and Nakayama to come to bat here for the Giants. The first pitch that is offered from Takeda is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Takeda, the fourth pitcher used tonight by the Hawks, came on in relief in the last half inning. He was able to get out of that jam that had been created, as there's a fastball that is swung on and check swing fouled over on the first base side, and the count is now 0-2 to Nakata. Not as big a break as I anticipated. Sometimes see on some of the ball games, but of course, when you're playing on turf and you've got the cutouts, there's not a lot of maintenance that you have to do. They can get that done fairly quick. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakata as the right-hander works to the set position. And now he kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and it bounces right up over Takuya Kai all the way to the backstop, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. I just get this feeling tonight that we are going to be around here for a while. As we said early on, it was one of those things. We have our friend Walking Spotted Bear says there's no Oakland A's in the NPB. Well, there might be a few, but it's certainly from a competitive standpoint for the quality of the league, very, very similar. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. As I think about the offense a little bit. So Oakland A's, I guess there's nobody that I would say is probably, it's not that there's no Oakland A's, it's just that there's nobody that is that trashy or that they're running into the ground at the moment. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Nakata has gone on strikes. He's out for out number 1 here in the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yoshihiro Maru. Well, for Maru tonight, he's got 1 hit and 2 trips, and that was an absolute missile. And he hit into the right field stands in the last inning to lead it off, a home run. That ball got out in a big-time hurry. I said it would be over 110 miles an hour. My mistake, I was wrong. It was 109. But that ball was absolutely scorched. Here comes the first offering. It is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Maru batting from the left side here. That was home run number 7 on the season for him. As the pitch is delivered, it's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. Kind of glad we had an early start tonight on this one, but I have a feeling it's going to be a late ending, as I said. Just get that feeling it could be a 4-hour marathon against these 2 heavyweights. Who knows? Maybe this is a preview of the Japan final. I think both of these teams would like to get there. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count is 3-0. The Hawks are sitting in 3rd place in the Pacific League. They were our favorite to win the Pacific League this year, and there's still a lot of time left. I'm still amazed that the Chibolote Marines are playing as well as they are. The Giants are on the outside looking in on the playoff structure. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. They started off the season playing very poorly, but they have played much better over the last 5.5 weeks as they have been flirting with that 500 mark, positively and negatively, up and down. So Maru is the runner at first. That's going to bring up Raito Nakayama. As Nakayama is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also stolen a base. Nakayama is the second baseman here. Our friend Alexander Leggett says the manager is in shambles. Can't believe this performance. The manager who is in shambles, who I would think is going to be gone. I hate to speculate on people's demise. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. But I would have to think the manager, Ishii, for the Tohoku Rocket Golden Eagles is got to be on life support at the end of this season. Alexander Leggett says every time they cut to the manager, Fujimoto, he's laughing. Yeah, it looks like he's died 1,000 deaths tonight. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and it squirts away from Kai. It's going to run the count to 1-1. Our friend Andy Altman-Orr was in the stream last night. He jumped in, and he is in Thailand for the next little bit. And he had shot me a picture and a bunch of pictures, actually, from the games that he went to and the different places. I have to say, Andy's photographic eye is really, really good. I should ask him, actually, if I could use some of those photos. I'm gonna reach out to him again. I'll email him back and see if I could use some of those in pictures in our stream. Not, of course, with him and his wife, but some of the photographic shots that he had were absolutely marvelous. Certainly from the Koshin Stadium, different angles and different spots. Beautiful sunny day when he saw the Swallows there. As they throw over to first base and diving back in time is the runner Maru. I thought the one picture that was pretty cool, I showed Steve Rademacher earlier on, was the girl pouring the beers at the Hanshin Tiger game. Just the outfit that she had on was in itself the price of admission. Here's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. I'm not sure about that one, but home plate umpire said so. That's going to run the count to 1-2 on Nakayama. For where the umpire's been calling pitches tonight, that one certainly would have been an outlier for him. So 1-2 strikes to Nakayama as the right-hander holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is check swing fouled off over on the third base side, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1-2 strikes. Alexander says, and tell us what we would search for on YouTube if we wanted to see such an outfit. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to first. It is knocked down by the first baseman, Nakamura, who steps on the bag for the out, but they're not going to be able to throw down to second as Maru is going to reach there safely. If he would have fielded it cleanly, they would have had a shot for a double play, but he ended up dropping the ball, stepped on the bag, and probably made the right decision just to eat it. That's going to go down as a ground out to 3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Shinosuke Shigenobu. Alexander says, where can we see such an outfit on YouTube on the stream? Well, as I said, I'll reach out to Andy and send him a message and see if I can use some of those picks in some of our in-between inning stuff, because that in itself was the price of admission to see that girl filling up the beer. But just the outfit she had on, it was just so, I can't even describe it. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that just misses. That pitch looked better than the one that just got called a strike, and the count is 1-0 to Shigenobu. Shigenobu tonight, 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also stolen a base and scored a run. He came around to tie the ball game in the 5th inning. I'd be shocked if Sagano came back out for another inning of work. Based on the look, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. If the Hawks get the lead, I would think that the needle would point back to them for a chance to be able to win this ball game, but curious to see how the Giants bullpen is going to stack up here if they've got themselves sorted out. Early in the season, the Giants bullpen was, politely said, not very good. There's a fastball that is swung on and is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind the third base dugout. Count is now 2-1 strike. So 2-1 strike to Shigenobu as the right-hander leans in and gets the sign. Takeda ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into the seats over on the third base side. It's going to even the count to 2-2. So 2 strikes. I always find it fascinating a little bit with the amount of body armor some of the players wear. This one here, Shigenobu's got the biggest elbow guard I think I've seen. As we said, the Giant fans, well-traveled, young crowd of Giant supporters in the house tonight. Here's the 2-2. And there's a fastball that misses down. That's going to be 3-2. Our friend Alexander says he loves how the NPB stream, they have the close call marker for pitches. It's kind of funny as they have the stuff that's up there. In other words, maybe close call or missed call. I have to be honest, I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to it. It's in the one corner of the stream, and I don't really look at it all the time. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Racing back on it is Kondo, and he's going to make the catch. They were playing a little shallow because they had to be in a position to throw out the runner if they were going to try to score, but that is going to be a catch there by the left fielder, and that is going to do it here. But it looks like we're going to have a pitching change as the night for Sagano will be done. No runs in the inning. There were no hits. There was no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is The Yomiuri Giants 2 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Sorry, the Yomiuri Giants 3 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody. Appreciate you guys for listening in.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting back into the catbird seat, and the Yomiuri Giants are going to their bullpen as they're bringing in a left-hander. We'll get you that information for you in just a moment as the lefty is coming on in relief here. This is going to be number 64. It looks like it is going to be O, but we'll have to get that for you in a second. Looks like it is Ryusei O on in relief. He's going to be making his 19th appearance of the year. He's 3-0. He's worked 12 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 10, and he's got an ERA of 3.55. So Ryusei O on in relief here for the Giants. He'll be the second pitcher used tonight by the Yomiuri Baseball Club. The Tokyo Baseball Club out to play as the Yomiuri Giants. So O on in relief here, and he's going to be facing Kurihara, Nomura, and Momori. The first pitch is ready to come here to Kurihara as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. It's not what you want when you bring in a lefty to face lefties. Lefties have got to get lefties out, but they more importantly have to throw strikes. Alexander Leggett in that last thing said, yay, Kondo. Well, they had the outfield shallow because they had to throw that runner out at the plate if they had to, and they almost hit the ball over his head. There's a fastball that misses up, and the count's now 2-0. If you get into a situation where you got the 3-2 ball game, you need to hold that guy. A base hit on the ground would have possibly done the damage. That's where you want to elevate something. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-0. Alexander says that Yomiuri is pretty technical, curious to see if he gets a walk. Yeah, but you bring in the lefty to face the lefty, especially leading off. You got to pitch to this guy. Here's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 3-1. That would really, really bother me if you bring in the lefty to face the lefty to start the inning and gives up the walk to begin it. Even if he put one on the board with a solo shot, it's not like he's got ducks on the pond. I'm not sure where that pitch was, but that pitch was a breaking ball that the home plate umpire said missed outside. It's going to be ball 4 as Kurihara is going to get himself a leadoff walk. Manager Hara sitting in the dugout. Now he's talking to himself. So the runner at first is Kurihara. That's going to bring Isami Nomura to the plate. Nomura tonight is officially 0 for 1. He popped to second. He was hit by a pitch, and he scored the first run of the ball game for the Fukuoka back in the 4th inning. On top of it, he's made some sparkling defensive plays for the Hawks as he's given Kenta Imamiya the night off, but he looks like he's already squaring the bunt, but now he's up in his regular stance. Let's see what happens here. Here comes the pitch, but they throw over to first base, and diving back easily is the runner Kurihara. Left-hander against the right-hander. O gets his sign from his catcher, Oshiro. as he works to the set position. Here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled off over on the third base side. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Nomura. So no balls and 1 strike. And Nomura will be followed by Masaki Momori here. It's been the bottom part of the order that's done the damage for the Hawks in this one so far, as both Nomura and Momori scored runs in the 4th inning. Stepping off the backside of the mound is the pitcher and ready to do this again. As O reaches for the rosin bag and gets himself done up. No balls and 1 strike. I don't know why they're not bunting, and we're going to find out if they've changed their decision here, and they're still not. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Nomura. He's in the hole. This is going to be a waste if they can't get him over into scoring position. This is one of the strengths of the Hawks, and for most of the Japanese teams, is their ability to play small ball, get them over into scoring position. So some peculiar decisions tonight that we've had to witness as the lefty leans in and he now comes to the set position. Here comes the 0-2 offering. As O kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Alexander Leggett projecting demise for Nomura. We'll find out here in a moment. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just surprised they wouldn't bunt him over into second and have a couple cracks to bring him home. Here comes the 1-2. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said before, the Giant bullpen early in the season was not what I would call efficient. They had blown a lot of games. We saw them against Chinichi early on in the year and blew opportunities to win. There's a fastball that comes inside and it has hit Nomura. That could be about the worst possible thing to happen. You have him in the hole 0-2. He battles back to a 2-2 count, and then you smoke him with a fastball, and that's going to put runners at first and second. So a walk and a hit by pitch has got runners at first and second. That's going to bring Masaki Momori to the plate, or is scheduled to bring Momori to the plate. Now, one would have to think here you got to be bunting, but then, of course, you got Takuya Kai in the hole. So Momori tonight, 1 for 2. He's grounded to the pitcher, and he's singled in his 2 trips. Oh, that's absolutely frustrating. If you're the manager of the Giants, you just lose your mind. You bring in the pitcher to pitch. He walks the left-handed batter to start the inning. You bring the lefty in to face the lefty. And he gets ahead in the count on Nomura at 0-2. And then Nomura battles back to even the count, and then you drill him. And now the defense is going to be sent here as the catcher, Oshiro, is out giving his signals, letting the defense know what they want here. So runners at first and second. As Momori steps up here to the plate. And Momori is squaring to bunt. So now the surprise is off. They're trying to hold him as Sakamoto comes in behind the runner, and there's a fastball that misses up and in on Momori, sends him right to the dirt. That's going to be ball 1. I wonder if they had something on here, because Momori's right up on the dish. That fastball came whistling right past his whiskers. He goes down, but Sakamoto was coming backdoor on the play. If that ball would have been decent, I wonder if they would have taken a shot to try to backdoor the runner at second base. So ball 1 it is to Momori here. Runner at second, Kurihara. The runner at first, Nomura. this is the time right here where you got to watch for that play. Usually sometimes you miss on the fastball up. When I was coaching over in Europe, we used to run a play situation like this where we'd had runners at first and second. The first pitch we would throw up in the zone trying to induce a pop-up. If it went to 1-0, then we would look for a backdoor pick in the situation, but it wouldn't be the shortstop. It'll be the second baseman coming in. But no, they don't choose to do that. They do get the bunt down. It is fielded by the pitcher. He throws to first. That's going to retire Yomiuri, and that is going to advance the runners over to second and third. But it had all the earmarkings of that particular play with Sakamoto trying to set up the runner Kurihara. So Yomiuri does his job. That's going to be a sacrifice bunt, 1-4 on the putout. That's going to bring up Takuya Kai to the plate with runners at second and third, and it's going to bring the manager Hara out of the dugout yet again. We're going to have ourselves a pitching change. While that's happening, we are going to give you guys some more Steve Rademacher with some more relief. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in a few.
Hey, guys. While the manager's searching for a relief pitcher, let me help you with some relief channels. On top of mine and Freddy's, you can always check out Redbeard Breaks, Zero Fox Sports. You know another Hollis build, check them out again. Maybe Beast and Beauty Breaks, or even Dab's Family. Oh, looks like they have their pitcher, so after the game, check out some other videos by Freddy. They're fun, they're cool. Enjoy the game, peace out, and cheers!
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change. It is going to be a right-hander coming in for the Yomiuri Giants. And this is going to be Taiki Kikuchi, who is coming on in relief as his night is over. Runners are at second and third with one gone. It's going to be Takuya Kai coming to bat here. Our friend Alexander Leggett said about Yomiuri not being able to do much, although I have to say Yomiuri had a single and scored a run in that fourth inning, but also did get that sacrifice down here. So he was able to move those runners along. But certainly on the field, on the defensive side, it's been a bit of a horror show for him at second base. He's not been crisp, that is for sure. Not that he's been charged with an error, because there hasn't been any errors, but he's got to be able to stop balls and make some plays, because some of those things did come back to haunt the Hawks earlier on. So Kai batting here. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He has popped to the catcher, and he has singled in his 2 trips to the plate. The infield is in for the Giants. I would not be surprised if they maybe try to bunt again, but no, he doesn't show any signs. He takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. It again had a situation that I would have said Kai in this spot. Pretty good bunter nonetheless. Maybe not as good as Imamiya. It would have been a spot where he would have maybe been able to push one down the first baseline and try to cash in that runner from third. Maybe not a suicide squeeze, but more of a safety type squeeze. Certainly with the lefty on the mound, that would have allowed that, because the pitcher was falling a little bit to the glove side. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Kai. But Kai is showing no signs of bunting. Tomoyuka Sagano is done, and he's got this, how do I call it? It almost looks like a poncho on in the dugout. It's actually kind of cool looking. I kind of like it in a way. He's got the ice on his arm, and he's up on the front step cheering for his teammates. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Now it's the Hawks fans' turn to make some noise, as the Giants have been in good voice earlier here tonight. 2 balls and 1 strike it is here to Takuya Kai. Yes, here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on, and this ball is belted down the left field line. This ball is just going to hook foul. Oh, did he give that one a ride? Did Kai? There was just ripped foul. Takuya Kai, he has that ability to run into some balls sometimes. That one there, he was just a little bit early on, and that ball was absolutely crushed. But that is just going to go in the books as a long strike, and that's going to run the count to 2-2. Whatever you can do to turn the batting order over to the top of the order with Akira Nakamura waiting on deck. Alexander Leggett says about the pitcher needing a haircut on the mound. I don't know. I think it's not as bad as what we saw with Kona Takahashi last night. Must be the sideburns that are doing it for you, Alexander. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and it's tap foul right behind home plate. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. I don't know if he fouled that one off. It looked like he did foul it off, and the catcher just couldn't hang on. I had to get a look at the replay on that one. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And down goes Kai for the second out of the inning. Kai in the books for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Akira Nakamura. Friend Alexander Leggett says, and that's going to bring the manager out of the dugout. There's no 3-batter inning rule here, or 3-batter rule in this league. They are going right back to the bullpen, and Akira Nakamura, we'll see if he's going to come out to hit, but that is going to be the end of the night here for the right-hander Kikuchi. He faces 1 batter and does his job. So we're going to take a little time out again, as we're going to have ourselves yet another pitching change, as the pitching parade in Fukuoka is to continue. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be number 53, a left-hander coming into the ball game for the Yomiuri Giants, and that is going to be Yuhei Takanashi. Is going to be taking over here. He is going to be making his 23rd appearance of the year. He's worked 18 2/3 innings. He's allowed 17 hits. He's walked 6 and struck out 23. An ERA of 4.82. The veteran began his career for the first 3 seasons with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He became a Giant in 2020, and he has been there the last 4 years. He's a bit of a side-winding left-hander. See a lot of those in Major League Baseball, and when you do, you take note of them. But he is definitely a sidewinder here. So Yuhei Takanashi coming on in relief, and he's going to be facing the top of the order in Akira Nakamura. So this is a game that's turning into lost opportunities for both clubs, as it is a 3-2 ball game for Yomiuri, but it probably could easily be a 6-5 game for the Hawks, as they've had their chances to put some more runs on the board, and they haven't. And so too have the Giants, but they haven't cashed in enough either. So Yuhei Takanashi coming in relief here to try to do the job for the Yomiuri Giants. As I said about this one, we are here in the bottom of the 6th inning. I look around the scoreboard. Games that have started at the same time as this one here have gone on and are much later in the ball game than this one, including that game at the Kisera Dome in Osaka, where the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars knocked off the Oryx Buffaloes 8-4. That is a final. That game went off at the same time as this. They got more runs. I didn't have the pitching changes that we've had, though. Here comes the first offering now to Nakamura as the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Nakamura 1 for 3 tonight. He struck out twice, but he had the big blow, the RBI, 2 RBI single in the 4th inning to give Fukuoka at that time the lead. He bats here with runners at second and third and 2 gone. And the pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball down. The home plate umpire points at him and says that he went. It's going to run the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As a reminder, once this game is finished, when it is done, we will give you a full recap of this one and give you everything from around the league. They call Akira Nakamura the lefty sniper. Well, he certainly was the last time he was up. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and is lifted foul down the left field line. It's into the temporary seating. Count remains at 0-2. What I want to know in the temporary seating, if I buy a ticket there in Fukuoka and I get a chance to sit there, do I get to keep the helmet that they give me? Or are those game-only helmets? Because the people that sit in those sections, I believe, are required to wear helmets. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So just to give you an idea, if you're not watching the game or picking up a feed, down the left field line, there's netting in the regular seating, but in front of the regular seating, there's this temporary type section, maybe about 3 or 4 rows deep. But the people who are sitting in there are wearing helmets because they're in front of the netting. I can only remember 25 years ago going to Major League Baseball games sitting in the front row. I don't think people were wearing helmets. Maybe it's for the ricochet off the netting. I don't know. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Nakamura. He is down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight, and that will do it here in the 6th inning for the Hawks. Well, they got their first 2 batters on to begin the inning, a walk to Kurihara and a hit batter to Nomura. And after Momori sacrificed them over to second and third, Kai strikes out, as does Nakamura, and that ended the 6th inning for the Hawks. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 runners left aboard. That is now 8 left aboard for the Hawks tonight through 6 innings. Your score, the Giants 3 and the Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this. We've got Mitchell Dottie here. He says, do you watch on TV and just commentate? Sometimes. We'll come back and talk to you a little bit more. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the fifth pitcher used by Fukuoka tonight. It's going to be Yuki Samori coming in relief. The right-hander is taking over for Shota Takeda. So Yuki Samori on in relief, and we'll get you his specs here in just a moment as he's completing his warm-up tosses. He is working his 28th ball game of the year. He is 3-1 on the season. He's worked at 22 2/3 innings. He's allowed 18 hits, 11 walks, and has struck out 21. He's got himself an ERA of 3.18. He is in his 4th season with the Hawks. Originally the 3rd overall pick in the 2019 draft, as he went to the Tohoku University of Social Welfare. So obviously, being in Tohoku, he is in the Northeast, up in that Sapporo region. Well, he is on, ready to go here. Wonder what his major would be at that school, but he's going to get the top of the order. It's going to be Hayato Sakamoto to lead it off. He'll be followed by Okoye and Akihiro. As the first pitch is on the way, it is a fastball that misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. 3-2, the Giants have the lead over the Hawks here. We're in the top of the 7th inning. As the right-hander works to the set position, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1. Sakamoto tonight 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning, and then he walked in the third and walked in the fifth, and he also scored a run. It's not been a great season offensively for the legendary Giants shortstop, as he entered the ballgame hitting .254, the 8 homers and 24 RBIs, but he has been one of the generational players for the Giants over the last 15 years. Here comes the 1-1 as Somori kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that comes inside. It is grounded over to first base. It is picked up by the first baseman, Nakamura, who steps on the bag. Sakamoto thinks that he was hit by the pitch. The home plate umpire doesn't think so. That ball ended up off of the fists of the bat. We're going to see that one again. Actually, it hit the knob of the bat. As it hit the knob of the bat, it ended up rolling softly to second base, or in the direction of the second baseman, but was cut off by Nakamura, who steps on the base. So it'll officially be a ground out to first, or ground out to 3. We'll see that again on the replay, and you can see that it just went off the knob of the bat. It was just a slow roll. He didn't even move Sakamoto. He knew exactly what it was. So that brings up Okoye to the plate, and the first pitch is a fastball that runs him off the plate inside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Okoye came on as the pinch hitter in the 5th inning for Kajitani, and he had a single. Got the ball rolling there for the Giants. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-1. As we mentioned, Okoye began his career with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He has now made it his home in with the Yomiuri Giants. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Somori kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander Somori ready to go again. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball that misses inside. Wow, they're pounding Okoye in, trying to get him off of the plate. It's twice he's had to kind of skip rope a little bit. Somori has kept his feet moving around in the box. Here's the 2-2. Somori really holds it a long time. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind the first base dugout. Count remains at 2-2 to Okoye. A little bit of irony in the picture that we used for our thumbnail tonight, as Takuya Kai was bunting in the thumb. Of course, the irony is he couldn't get the job done when he needed to earlier on in this one. Here comes the 2-2. Somori holds at the belt, and now he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped softly back to the mound. Somori fields his position well. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Okoye on a ground out, 1-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuto Akihiro. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says that Benedict Arnold, he was a turncoat at one time, probably. I think he was involved in a trade, but I have to go back and look up statistically, or look up where that was. I don't think he was picked off the waiver wire. I don't know if he came over at the same time that Zealous Wheeler came over, or if that was a little bit earlier, because Wheeler was with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles as well. There's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. In and around the same time. I think Wheeler's playing days are now done in the NPB. I think he had himself a decent career over there. There's a fastball that just catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Kind of curious to see what's going to happen with Frank Schwindel over with the Oryx Buffaloes. He's not been able to settle. Hardly getting time with the first team. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. Marwin Gonzalez, of course, has been very versatile. They can move him around. I don't really know where you'd play Schwindel because the play of Yuma Tongu has dictated that Schwindel doesn't get a regular place. So with Tongu, who is listed as a catcher playing first base, his bat has been really, really strong. Schwindel hasn't really had the chance to get in, and when he does, it's been sporadic. Here's the 2-1 offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 2-2. I think there's a place for Schwindel in the NPB, maybe not with Oryx. Maybe they got to explore a trade or maybe to move them so they get an opportunity. But when you think about bringing players in certain positions, you want guys with power, want guys who produce. As I say, he really hasn't had a lot of opportunities to play because of the play of Tongu. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. This ball game here, as we are in the top of the 7th inning. As we said tonight, for a 3-2 ball game, just how slow this game has moved along. 8-4 was the final between the Bay Stars and the Buffaloes tonight. That game's already over, and it started before this one did. Here's the 3-2. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Akiro stood there like the side of the road and watched that one go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the top of the 7th for the Giants. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Giants 3 and the Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging out here with us tonight. Here is our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving now to the bottom of the 7th inning, and I don't know if anybody saw this tonight. I think it was in last night's basketball game. As I see the mascots for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are up there cheering, with the cheerleaders having a good time. Apparently, there was a skit or a stunt that went awry in the Miami Heat game last night. It was Conor McGregor was out on there, and the mascot for the Heat got punched, not just once, but twice, and ended up getting hurt and taken to the hospital as I got cracked in the jaw by McGregor. So apparently they had boxing gloves on the mascot, and he had come out there to do some stunt or whatever it was, or some sort of skit with McGregor, and McGregor was supposed to punch him and hit him in the side of the mascot's face. And not only did he do it, he did some pretty heavy damage, I guess, to the person that was inside the suit. So not maybe the best idea to get Conor McGregor to throw punches at your mascot, because damage could be done. Well, we have a pitching change here for the Giants as they have a left-hander in the ball game, and it is going to be Kota Nakagawa on in relief. And the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Makihara. He takes it for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yet another pitcher used here tonight by the Giants, as this is going to be number 5 by our books. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit as Makihara is aboard with a leadoff single here to start the 7th. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Kazuki Kondo. So for Kondo, he comes to bat here 0 for 2 tonight. He's got a strikeout, a flyout, and he has walked in his 3 trips to the dish. Just trying to get the specs back here on this left-hander for the Yomiuri Giants. Kondo's average has dropped to 270 on the season now with this 0 for 2 performance so far tonight. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. So Kota Nakagawa on in relief here. No balls and 1 strike to Kondo with the runner Makihara at first. One would think this is definitely not a bunt situation as you got the heart of the order coming up here. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. I do want to thank everybody for being with us here tonight and listening in. As we have NPB baseball here in the bottom of the 7th inning with 1 on and nobody out. Hawks are trying to get back into this one here as they find themselves down 3-2 to the Giants in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and it's tapped foul right behind home plate. We're going to do the 0-2 pitch all over again here in just a moment. That was the one thing I cringed about tonight is the length of this game. Just had that feeling we're going to be here for a while. What that's going to mean is another coffee on the in-between. So no balls and 2 strikes as the left-handed hitting Kondo waiting here on the offering from the left-handed pitcher Nakagawa. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Oh, Kondo stood there like the house by the side of the road, watched it go by for out number 1. He can't believe the call. More importantly, I can't believe he took the pitch. That pitch looked like it sawed the plate in half. Right belt high fastball, nothing more you can expect than that. I don't know what he was looking at. We'll get the overhead replay. I could see why he's a little upset. That pitch was probably off of the plate. It looked like it was on the white line of the right-handed batter's box. That's still too close to take. You got to just flick your wrists at it to try to spoil it. So Kondo's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Yuki Yanagita to the dish. And the first pitch to Yanagita is swung on his chop slowly over to short, fielded by Sakamoto. What a play by Sakamoto. That's going to go down as a ground out 6-3. It's going to retire Yanagita. It's going to advance Taisi Makihara over to second. And that's going to be 2 outs now here for the Hawks. I wonder if they're going to take a look at this one or not. Yanagita's not leaving the field too quickly. But it looks like we'll see if that play is going to be reviewed. I'm curious to know here. Yes, Yanagita is going to hang around over at first base. I think that was definitely a ground out 6-3, but we're going to watch it again on the replay. Let's see what we have here. Actually, it wasn't Sakamoto. It was Okamoto who had got over into that position. They had a bit of a shift on here for Yanagita. You don't see a lot of shifts going on. So it was Okamoto in the 6th spot. We're going to get the replay here. I still think he's out. That's a waste of a challenge. That one there, we could clearly see that one there. Yanagita, you're done. It's already in our books. That's going to put Makihara at second. I don't care what the umpires say. He's gone. It's going to bring the right fielder Tetsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. And that is a quick one here for the umpires. And there it is. He is out. Started the stream earlier tonight. We were talking about Major League Baseball and about the managers challenging and what their percentages were for winning challenges. Skip Shoemaker, the manager for the Marlins, he is almost perfect. He is 11 for 12 challenges. He's spot on. And I believe the worst one in the league is Rocco Baldelli up to this point. Baldelli is only 2 for 10 on his challenges. He's working at the 20% rate. And then there's all points on the in-between. But Skip Shoemaker in the early part of the season, as we're about 3/8 of the way done, has the lead in terms of the most percentage of correct overturns or the most overturns in the league. So Yanagamachi steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's lined to third. He has struck out and walked as he bats here against the left-hander. Here we go. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear said, yeah, in his first year, I mean, you have to be lucky on some of that as well, I would think, because you got to make a decision. I do prefer the way the Japanese do it. I don't like the fact that they can get on the phone and call upstairs in Major League Baseball. You got 10 seconds, make a decision. Do you want to call it, or do you want us to go review it or not? And certainly in the Japanese league, they don't get on the phone and make the call. It's too long in MLB. A fastball misses outside, and the count is now 1-1. Why should you have the benefit of calling upstairs and asking them to look at the replay? Make your decision right there on the field. Take the technology out, because the umpires have got to call it in real time. The umpire's got to call it in real time. You've got to be able to make a real-time decision on whether you challenge it or not. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and no strikes. Games from around the NPB are getting themselves into the latter stages. Some have already been finals. Bottom of the 7th inning, it is the Hanshin Tigers with a 1-0 lead over the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And there's the breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-1 to Yanagamachi. Game is over at the Balluna Dome in Saitama. 3-2 victory for the Swallows over the Lions. Top of the 6th inning, the Marines are up 6-2 on the Carp. That was a later start. We mentioned before that the Bay Stars knocked off the Buffaloes 8-4. That game is a final as well. And the game between the Dragons and the Golden Eagles postponed at the Rakuten Mobile Park, or the Miyagi Park in Tohoku. That is where we stand. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. That's going to run the count now to 3-2 on Yanagamachi. Of course, the score in this one here is 3-2 for the Giants as the Hawks are batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yanagamachi. The runner at second is Makihara. 2 gone here in the 7th. As the left-hander works to the set position. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's golfed foul down the third baseline. It's going to get into those temporary seats. The count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yanagamachi. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says at least they're starting to do expedited replay challenge. I think that's important. I think speeding up the replay would be good. Let's make it a real quick 10-second decision. You got to either figure it out or not. Get off the phone. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Yanagamachi is going to be aboard on a base on balls. That's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Giant dugout. That puts runners at first and second. It'll be Ryoya Kurihara coming to the plate. I haven't kept track on it here, but I'm looking at the Fukuoka numbers right now, or the Giant numbers. Tonight in this game here, the Giants, by my count, have walked 5 batters and have plugged 2. So 5 batters walked and 2 hit by pitches. On the flip side, for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, I got 3 batters walked and 1 hit by pitch. So they're a little bit more efficient, yet the scoreline is in the favor of the Giants. But they've lived dangerously in this one. Friend Walking Spotted Bear said they made it more like the NFL than being able to make the call on the spot. So here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Kurihara. Yeah, in other words, I'd like to see nobody on the phone. You got 10 seconds to make that decision quickly. And if the 10 seconds is up, you're done. You have to make that decision. Did he make the play or did he not? And I think sometimes of plays where I've watched games, as here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count's now 0-2 to Kurihara. Or I think of Javi Baez of the Tigers, who adamantly thinks that he has got an out at second base and he's wanting them to challenge. And they go to the replay, and I don't know what prescription that Javi Baez is using because the play's not even close. But certainly if they had that decision where they had to make it in 10 seconds, get influenced for the negative reasons, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-2. You sometimes, hey, should I make the challenge and trust my player? Or should we make the challenge and wait for 30 seconds and see what the sky or the eyes in the sky say? So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Kurihara. He bats with 2 out and runners at first and second. Bottom of the 7th inning, and is getting into the deep water here for the Hawks. Got to find a way to cash some runs in here. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Kurihara is down on strikes for out number 3, and another inning of wasted opportunity for the Hawks. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left aboard. That is now 10 runners stranded through the first 7 innings for the Hawks. Your score through 7, it is the Giants 3 and the Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 8th inning when we return. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in here tonight. We're going to give you another one from our friend, Steve Rademacher. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to go check him out after the ball game. He's got all kinds of wild and crazy stuff you're able to look at. Well, we are moving now to the top of the 8th inning. It has been a complete pitching parade here so far. We expect nothing but the less of more to come. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Giants. It means Kaz Okamoto, Takumi Oshiro, and Sho Nakata scheduled to hit for Yomiuri in their half of the 8th inning. It was Samori who was on, but now it is going to be Livan Moinello coming into the ball game, the Cuban left-hander. So interesting that he will be coming on here. So Livan Moinello on in relief, as he is going to be taking over, and by our books, he is going to be the 6th pitcher used tonight for Fukuoka. Moinello was the closer last year. Of course, Roberto Osuna now closing games out for the ball club this year. Moinello, the diminutive left-hander. I like the way that he works, though. I like the way that he goes about his business. He's not quite having... Well, actually, he is. He's having a pretty good season this year. There's a breaking ball. He started off slow, taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Okamoto. Okamoto 0 for 2 tonight and had a sacrifice fly. But back to Moinello for a minute. He's 2-0 this year. He's got 3 saves. Last year, he was pressed into the closer's role where he saved 24 ball games. As that fastball misses upstairs, the count is 1-1, and that last one was at 96 miles an hour. He's got a 0.87 ERA. The impressive part is he only walked 3 in his 20 2/3 innings of work. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball that blows by the hitter Okamoto, and the count is now 1-2. A 0.87 ERA, only 2 runs and 2 earned runs given up here by the lefty so far. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is as Moinello comes set. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is ripped foul down the third base line, and it hits the facing in front of that temporary seating, and the count remains at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear says he typically thinks that the player with the emotions end up getting that coach to, when they beg for an overturn. Yeah, sometimes that happens. You get some guys, they just get so emotional. Can't see the correct decision through the blurriness of their own eyes. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2 to Okamoto. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty versus the righty. As we mentioned, he's ready to go again. As Moinello holds to the set, now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. It's going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of our friends who comes into the channel is Yannick Shrambini. He was in the other night. It's getting to be his time of the day. He might pop in here at some point, depending on how late this game goes. But if you're into tennis, Roland Garros, the championship, I think, is today for the men's. The women's were yesterday. Iga Swiatek had the victory. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the grab is Kensuke Kondo. Oh, boy. Okamoto took that one a long way into the pull gap. And Kondo got on his horse and made the grab. It's not always every day that we could say Kensuke Kondo making great plays and running catches, but that is definitely one of them there, as he had to leap up into the air and make the grab as he was on the warning track. That's going to retire Okamoto for the first out of the inning. Time to get back in the gym for Okamoto. A couple more curls. He just missed that one. That's going to bring up the catcher, Takumi Oshiro. And the first pitch to Oshiro is a fastball at 95 that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Oshiro tonight 0 for 3. He has popped to the catcher, he's popped to short, and he has struck out in his 3 trips. As Moinello looks in and gets the sign from his catcher. And now he works into the set position. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. I'm curious to see what the Giant back end of their bullpen is going to have to offer here in this one. We've already used a number of arms. What do they got left? Here's the 0-2. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count now goes to 1-2. Last pitch was at 96 miles an hour. As Moinello looks skyward. I was saying before, I've seen the PayPay Dome. Only one time have we seen the roof opened at the PayPay Dome. Here's the pitch. It's a slow breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Oshiro stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 2. That ball there, I don't know what he was looking for, but he certainly wasn't looking for the breaking ball. That ball there locked him up as that ball crosses the plate for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Sho Nakata. Our friend Martin jumps in here, and he says, hoping these Giants fare better than the MLB Giants did today. Well, we know that Kyle Hendricks had a no-hitter through 7 2/3 until Mitch Haniger hit the double to break it up, and then I didn't look in after that. Here's the first offering to the right-handed hitting Nakata, who swings and fouls that one away down the third baseline. The count is 0-1. Thanks for joining us in here tonight, Martin. We appreciate you popping into the stream. So no balls and 1 strike. These Giants here are living dangerously. It is a 3-2 lead as they have their runs here. I don't know if this would be the time to put any nickels on either one of these teams. They're into the deep water here. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Our friend Mitchell Dottie says he's listening from Texas. We appreciate you, Mitchell. I didn't know if you were still in the stream or not. I knew you had asked a question earlier, and then I kind of, I'd say I dodged you, but we just sort of weren't really sure if you were kicking around or if you were one of those guys who call them drive-bys. They come in and hit you, and then they run. But we're glad to have you here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first baseline, and the count is going to remain at 0-2. Mitchell says 2:15 Texas time. Yeah, you're a couple hours ahead as we are on the West Coast. We are going to try to do some middle-of-the-night games this week, and then we will do everything up till Friday. Next Saturday, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to call a game as we will be occupied, as there's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Nakata on strikes. A nice job by Monello as he retires the side. 1-2-3 in order here, and that is 8 in a row now retired by the Hawks relievers. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Giants 3, the Hawks 2. Looks like manager Hara's got a few changes in store for us. We'll see if it's a pitching change when we come back after this. Our friend Nash is still with us. We appreciate you for being here. Thank you guys for being with us. We'll be right back after this. Some more Hall of Fame memories from the NPB Hall of Fame. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change. It is yet another one here for the Yomiuri Giants. They're going to the bullpen, and they are going to be calling on a right-hander, and it'll be some of you guys who will know this. It is Tyler Beatty coming on in relief, the former San Francisco Giant, also Pittsburgh Pirate, and Vanderbilt University pitcher. Of course, I remember Tyler Beatty when he was originally drafted in the first round by the Toronto Blue Jays. He ended up turning him down, not signing and going off to college. So then again, he was eventually picked by the San Francisco Giants. This is going to be his 7th appearance. He's 0-4 this year. He has worked 25 2/3 innings. He's allowed 35 hits, 9 walks. He has 21 strikeouts to his name, and he's got a 5.26 ERA. So most of his games have been via the start. So now they are moving him into the bullpen. They do have a couple of changes defensively here, as it looks like there's a new third baseman on for the Giants, and I wonder if that is going to mean that Okamoto may stay in the game but move across the diamond. It is going to be Makoto Katawaki in at third base. We'll keep an eye to see if Okamoto has crossed the diamond over to first, and if so, that would spell the end of the night for the first baseman Nakata. And the first pitch from Beatty is a breaking ball that misses down for ball one, and the count is 1-0. It is a pinch hitter here, it looks like, for Nomura. We'll have to get you that in just a moment here, although if Nomura is batting, we'll have to see what this is here. We missed our batter. There's a fly ball down the left field line, but it's going to slice into the seats. The count is even at 1-1. If it is a pinch hitter, then we would possibly anticipate that it would be Kenta Imamiya coming into the ball game as the defensive replacement, but we'll have to see what this is here. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that just misses outside, and that is exactly what it is. We do have a pinch hitter here. We're struggling to get the information or the necessary information here on the Hawks player. Don't seem to have him on this roster. It looks like it is the catcher, Tanegawara, pinch hitting. There's a fastball swung on, it's grounded right in front of the plate. He's getting down the line quickly, fielded by the catcher, Oshiro, who throws to first. That is going to retire Tanegawara on a ground out 2-3. He is gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Masaki Momori. And one would have to think that it'll be Imamiya that will be coming in as the replacement at shortstop as Tanagawara was on there for that pinch hitting role. Now that brings up Masaki Momori to the plate. Momori 1 for 2 today. He's got a single, a sacrifice, and he's also grounded out to the pitcher, and he swings through a breaking ball for strike 1, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Martin, who was in the chat, said that it was the only thing that was exciting was the Mitch Haniger hit. That was the only thing that they had. Yeah, Haniger, I really miss Haniger because I got to see him a lot in the Pacific Northwest with the Mariners as there was a breaking ball that misses down and away. The problem with the Mariners is he really couldn't stay on the field all the time. He was always unhealthy, including getting hit in the solar plexus. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and missing a significant amount of time, requiring surgery for that. That's an unfortunate situation for him. And I think every man who's listening to the stream would understand that. Very painful. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Momori. Nash says he's surprised to see this game still at 3-2. It's been a game of lost opportunities because in this ball game here, there's been a lot of chances, but they haven't been able to capitalize. Certainly the Hawks stranding 10 runners through 7. Mitchell says, who's the favorite to win it all in this league? Well, I think the Hawks were my preseason favorite. There was a fastball swung on, it's grounded over to short, fielded by the shortstop Sakamoto, who throws to first, and that's going to retire Momori on a ground out 6-3. As Momori is gone for the second out of the inning. So the Hawks have got a very potent offense. I don't know if their starting pitching is going to match what others are around the league. Their bullpen's pretty good. So that was my pick there. Obviously, the Oryx Buffaloes, the defending champions, good opportunity as well. In the Central League, it's a bit amazing. The Hanshin Tigers are leading the way here. It's certainly the Swallows, who have been the 2-time defending Central League champs, are nowhere to be seen. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down to Kai, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Nash says Roki Sasaki has another quality start going tonight. Yes, he does. As he's pitching against the Carp, there is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is 1-1. We actually considered doing that game, but didn't like the forecast. Our friend Undrafted Player in the house listening to us from France. We appreciate you for being here. 1 ball and 1 strike it is here as Beatty is doing his job. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. I think Martin's probably referring that Beatty, he didn't know that he had made it over to the NPB. Yeah, he had a bit of a struggle going on, and that's unfortunate for him. Hopefully he can sort himself out. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Takuya Kai down on strikes. Beatty comes in and retires the side in order 1-2-3. Excellent job by him here in his 1 inning of relief. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard for the Hawks. We're going to the 9th inning. Your score is the Yomiuri Giants 3 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate y'all for listening in. We'll answer some more of your questions when we come back in just a few minutes. It is NPB Baseball Late Night with Last Raps Baseball. Thanks for being here, everybody. And hold tight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day. or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Roberto Osuna coming into the ball game. And when we talk about players on the food chain who definitely deserve to be in Major League Baseball, and I know there's been some off-field challenges and issues with this pitcher, Roberto Osuna is one of them who needs to be there. This is going to be his 18th appearance of the year for the former Houston Astro and Toronto Blue Jay. He has worked 17 innings. He's allowed 7 hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 15. But more importantly, he has a ERA of 0.00. He has not allowed an earned run this year in his 17 appearances. And it is Kenta Imamiya who is the shortstop, as we had anticipated, as he is coming out on defensive purposes. Osuna, when we watched him pitch last year with the Chibalote Marines, he was absolutely lights out. And what I mean by lights out, he was absolutely fantastic, and he's even better this year. So you got to think in another year or so, a major league club has got to be calling. He's not even over the age of 30 yet. And you would like to think that this purgatory or this, where they've put him, shunned him from MLB, he's going to be making a comeback in a year or two, I would think, much like Trevor Bauer, if he can sort himself out. Somebody's going to come knocking in another year or two to bring them back. It's almost like a punishment for both of those players that they get to play, but not here. Not like there's collusion in MLB. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now is 2 balls and no strikes as the first 2 pitches were down here to the right fielder, Maru. Maru tonight has been one of the offensive stars for the Giants. He hit a home run to lead off the 5th inning. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field, and this ball is going to be back, and this ball is gone, a home run. So I guess that's the announcer kiss of death. We laid it right there to Osuna, not allowing an earned run in 17 ball games this year, and a solo shot for Maru to begin the 9th inning. His second of the ball game has now put the Giants in front 4-2 as he has driven home the 4th run here for himself. Unbelievable. So Maru has increased the lead to 4-2, and that's going to bring up Raito Nakayama to the plate. And that one got out at 100 miles an hour, so not quite as good as the last one. And the first pitch delivered to Nakayama is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I guess you got to give up a run sometimes. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it in a big way. But that could be a huge difference here, as the Hawks are going to be down to their last wraps in the 9th inning. As there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 1-1. Our friend Martin said about Tyler Beatty not knowing that he moved to the NPB. Yeah, Tyler Beatty is certainly I say a disappointment. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-2. The injuries that he had led to disappointment because there was a lot of talent in that body, and you can see it even when he's pitching here. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 2-2. Our friend Mitchell asked the question. He says, how many American players on a roster? Well, actually, it's not American, but it's import players. So on a game sheet, Mitchell, you can have 4 imports on a game sheet, but only 3 can be in a game at one time. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is going to remain at 2-2 to Nakayama. So, for example, a couple of years ago, the Hanshin Tigers had as many as 8 import players in their system. And the system meaning you've got 70 players on professional contracts between the NPB team and their farm team, because there's only one level of minor league baseball or affiliated minor league baseball before the top teams. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. So to answer your question, so when I coached over in Europe, they have different rules for different spots. So when I was in Europe, you were only allowed to have an import. You could have 3 import players in the game at one time, but you could only have a catcher or a shortstop. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Nakayama is going to be aboard with a single, so runner at first, nobody out. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Shinosuke Shigenobu. So just to finish off that thought about import players. So in Europe, when they're wanting to develop players, you could either have a shortstop or a catcher, but you couldn't have both. Only one could be an import because they're trying to develop shortstops and they're trying to develop catchers. Two strong positions. So, but in the Japanese league, you also see tendencies where until Ariel Martinez, the Cuban, came, there hadn't been a import catcher in about 20 years in the NPB. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1 to Shigenobu. Shigenobu tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also flown up to left field twice. Runner at first, Nakayama. Shigenobu at the plate, and then it'll be Sakamoto to follow as he waits on deck. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is even at 1-1. So with regards to the import players, you'll see some teams, they'll be balanced. They might have 3 import pitchers, 3 import hitters. Maybe they got 3 and 4 or 4 and 2 or something along those lines. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and that's going to run the count now to 2-1 on Shigenobu. The Hanshin Tigers a couple of years ago had 8 on their roster. So the problem is that 4 of them were hitters, and it was like Jerry Sands and Justin Bohr and Jeffrey Marte, and I can't remember the other one. But then if they were pitching somebody that day, you were having to sit a hitter, and it was just a rotational nightmare for the manager. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded over to first. Nakamura steps on the bag, and they get the out. Now they got the runner in a rundown between first and second, and it's not very good execution at all here. This is a Little League rundown, but after about 5 or 6 throws, they're finally able to run out Nakamura. I'm not even going to be able to give you that one. I know it's going to be a ground out to 3 that starts the double play, but if I go through the rest of it, we'll have to count it out here for you. But we're not going to see that, I don't think, now. But that's going to end that's going to be the second out of the inning. As that looks like I thought we were going to have our third out, but it is going to bring Sakamoto to the plate, unless we miss something here. No, that's 2 away. So they're not going to give us the replay. They're just going to give us the replay of the home run. So I can't even share you how that put out went down, but it went something like 3-6 and a whole bunch of other numbers after that. So 2 gone here, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, and Hayato Sakamoto. Sakamoto, as first pitch is delivered to him, it's grounded over to third. They throw to first, and that is going to be it. That's going to be a ground out, 5-3. Sakamoto is going to be retired. The bat blew up. It went almost as far as the ball did. But hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We'll gather our thoughts. They got a run in the inning on the home run by Maru. There was 1 run on 2 hits. There was no errors and nobody left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. Your score is the Giants 3 and the Hawks 2. Stick around. We'll be back with the call in just a couple of moments. We appreciate everybody for listening in tonight. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We have another pitching change, and we'll get that for you in just a few. It is 3-2 for the Giants over the Hawks. We're going to the bottom of the 9th in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change, and I'm going to share some stuff with you. This is going to be, they say Taisi is coming on in relief. This is Taisi Oda. He just goes by Taisi, much like Ichiro would go by Ichiro in Major League Baseball. But he is coming on in relief here, as he is a soon-to-be 24-year-old right-hander, as he's going to be trying to close this one out. So Taisi Oda, or Taisi as he would be called here. The interesting part about this is some of the names that it would turn over, it would be many people. They have some of the literal names or literal translations, as you see it when it gets transferred over into English. This is his second year with the Giants. He's got a 2-0 record. He's got 11 saves, coming off a 37-save season last year. 21 innings pitched, 17 hits, 9 walks, and 28 strikeouts, and he's got an ERA of 3. He's got the top of the order in Nakamura, Makihara, and Kondo to face. And the first pitch here from Taisi is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. The other thing is, too, is that there's something else to keep in mind. I know Mitchell was asking some questions in the last half inning. There's no real injured list. You're on the active roster or you're not. So if somebody gets hurt or they're out or they have to take them off, what they do is you've got to be 10 days off the registered active roster, as that fastball swung on and popped up over to second. Camping out underneath it is the second baseman, Nakayama, and he makes the catch. That's going to retire Nakamura for the first out of the inning. So 1 hawk up and 1 hawk away. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Taisi Makihara. Again, just as a reminder, after this one is finished, we will give you the roundup of this one, and then we will give you the out-of-town scoreboard, and we will call it a night. Just as a reminder, we will be on in the middle of the night during the week. So if you miss it, you can listen on the replay. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. So hopefully you get a chance to join us in the wee hours. Maybe on as early as tonight or tomorrow morning in the middle of the night, because there is a ball game scheduled. We'll see if there is more. There is a fastball swung on. It is grounded back to the pitcher. Fielded by Taisi. Underhand flips it to first. And with that said, there's 2 up and 2 away. It's going to go into the books as a ground out 1-3 for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Kazuki Kondo. So just one more thought on the import players and the list. So because there's no injured reserve per se, what happens is a player gets removed from the active roster. And then what will happen is then if they want to bring them back onto the roster, they have to sit out for at least 10 days. And if the 10 days is sat out, then they can re-register them to the active roster. So in essence, whether you get sent down or you're hurt, there's a fastball swung on. This is lined into left field. It's going to be a base hit. And the Hawks have life with a 2-out single by Kazuki Kondo. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuki Yanagita. So this game's not over yet, as the 2 big run producers here in the middle of the order have got a chance to keep this one going. As Kondo's done his part, now Yanagita has to do his. And not like we've had drama tonight, but a 2-run shot here from Yanagita is not out of the question. Yanagita on the season has got 9 homers and 30 runs batted in, and the first pitch is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1, and he tried to tie the ball game up with 1 swing of the bat there. So no balls and 1 strike. You can see he had a bit of a grin, did the Fukuoka designated hitter. One thing you got to like about Japanese baseball, whether the score is 3-2 or 10-1, the fans will hang out right till the end of the ball game. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. That one he swung so hard, his helmet fell off his head, did it for Yanagita. So no balls and 2 strikes. And as we are about ready to close out of this one, if this game does finish up, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hang around or hit the notification bell. It'll tell you when we are going live again. As we said, it'll be midweek action this week. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Yanagita is down on strikes, and that is going to do it here in this one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your final score, Yomiuri Giants 3 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up for you when we get back in just a couple. We appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. Again, your final score 3-2, but we'll be right back after this.
Good Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the recap of this one, the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we're going to call it a night. We appreciate everybody who had popped in here tonight to listen to us give you the play-by-play on this one between the Giants and the Hawks. Well, the scoring opened up in the fourth inning. It was the Hawks who got things going with one out. It was Asami Nomura was hit by a pitch, and then Masaki Momori singled. Takuya Kai, in the situation with runners on the corners, popped out to the catcher. Up stepped Akira Nakamura, and he smoked a 2-run single into right field to open up the scoring to make the scoreline 2-0 for Fukuoka. But all the scoring came right back in the fifth inning. In the top of the fifth, it was Yasuhiro Moro who led off the inning with a home run. They cut the lead to 2-1 after Raido Nakayama grounded out. It was Shinosuke Shinogobu, have been struggling with his name all night. Shigenobu had singled. He then stole second. Hayato Sakamoto walked. And then it was Rui Okoye batting for Takayuki Kajitani, who had a single to load the bases. Up stepped Yuto Akihiro. He singled to drive in the second run of the inning. And then it was a sacrifice fly by Kaz Okamoto that delivered the third run of the ball game for the Giants. And that was where the scoring ended there in the fifth. They added one more in the inning, in the ninth inning, when Yoshihiro Maru took Roberto Osuna yard for his second home run of the ballgame, 8th of the season. And that increased the scoreline to 4-2. I haven't updated our ticker, but the final was the Giants. And on Golden Eagles, I haven't looked to see if there is going to be made up tomorrow or not. Other games around the league, in the bottom of the ninth inning, it is a 1-0 ball game for the Tigers over the Fighters. Game is over between the Swallows and the Lions. That is a 3-2 final for the Swallows as they won in the Bluna Dome. It is 6-2 for the Chibalote Marines over the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. That game is in the top of the eighth inning at the Zozo Marine Stadium. Game that ended earlier in the Osaka Dome, or at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. It was 8-4 victory for the Bay Stars over the Buffaloes. And once again, your final score here, 4-2 for the Giants over the Hawks. Once again, everybody, we appreciate everybody for jumping in here and listening tonight. Whether it's Martin, Walking Spotted Bear, our friend The Living Room, Mitchell Dottie. We had Alexander Leggett. Steve Rademacher was in the house tonight. We had Nash. Also had a number of other people who had popped by, and I apologize. Our friend Undrafted Player was here. We also know that there were others, Ronnie Tohomo, who made it in. Everybody else who jumped in here tonight, we appreciate you guys for being here. Once again, we'll be back on the airwaves midweek in the middle of the night. If you guys are interested, we'll be around. And if not, you can always catch us on delay. We will do some of the games during the week, and our notifications, we'll pop them up a little bit later once we decide which ones we're going to do. As it probably is going to be a Giants week, we are going to stay with Yomiuri through the week. Once again, everybody, it's been another Last Rounds Baseball video production. We hope you all have a great night. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher to close us out.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Each smile comes back again. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again.